Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
Athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
this is our home.
we embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
At Darlington, we're proud to wear purple and white.
Because Tigers strive for greatness.
In the classroom and on the field.
We know that we can do anything, be anything,
achieve anything.
We're part of a program that is 100% dedicated to nourishing our minds and our bodies.
As teammates, we push each other further than we ever thought we could go.
Because every single one of us has something to contribute.
We practice hard so that when we compete, we can leave it all out on the field.
With each win, we build confidence.
With each loss is a lesson.
Our coaches teach us more than technique.
They prepare us to be good teammates,
friends, and people.
We face adversity together
and push through to reach our goals.
We may struggle,
but we will never give up.
Because today,
because today,
because today,
because today, tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom and on stage.
The opportunities are endless.
Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
explore opportunities,
and stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers,
we use what we've learned to create beauty, to tell stories,
to inspire. We discover new passions
while allowing existing ones to flourish. We know that we can do anything,
be anything,
achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves. Whether we're sketching,
singing, writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves
and share our talents with the world. We know that our ideas and contributions matter, and we take great pride in that.
Because today,
because today, because today,
because today,
because today, tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Welcome into H.A. Lindsey Stadium, Naaman Wiseman Field, as tonight we are getting ready for another showdown on the gridiron. It's your Darlington Tigers at Armuchee Indians out at Armuchee High School. I'm Matt Davis. Along with me tonight, as always, my buddy Ian Griffin of V3 Magazine. We're very excited to be here tonight to bring you Game 9 of the regular season for the Darlington Tigers. Of course, they are 8-0 coming into this game. Perfect region record at 4-0, facing an Armuchee team that's much improved over the last several years. They are 3-4 on the season, 1-2 in region play, and this should be another fun one tonight with a couple of teams in the county playing each other, the Darlington Tigers and then, of course, the Armuchee Indians. These two teams hadn't played in a while.
When was the last time? 2015?
It was 2015. Darlington would win that game. 44-6 was the final score in the game. And the only two Armuchee wins, by the way, series history, Darlington leads at 18-2. The only two Armuchee wins in the series were in 1992 and 1993. That was back during the Tommy Welch era. Everybody remembers that back in the early 90s. I believe it was in 93 that they went all the way to the semifinals and were eliminated by 4 points by Lincoln County and just missed an opportunity to play in a championship game just by a hair.
Well, the Armuchee faithful are going to show up in droves tonight. Great atmosphere out here. Wonderful night for football. The weather is going to be just perfect. A little chilly, but not too bad. I expect a good turnout. Darlington always travels well, so it should be a great environment here at Armuchee. And then there's some emotion that should drive that as well with the news this week that Coach Green will be stepping down from the program.
No doubt about it, and this is actually from a quote from him in the Rome News Tribune this week, but he said, "Right now is not just a time for me to teach, but to act on it. Over the last 3 years, my family has faced medical challenge after medical challenge. Being a football coaching family certainly adds to the weight carried by my wife and children. With this in mind, I have decided that the 2022 season will be my last as head football coach at Armuchee High School," and they informed the players after practice earlier this week. So it looks like we may need to take a break here, or...
Oh, no, we're good.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. The PA announcer came in. I didn't know if he needed to get something from us real quick. But we're glad you're with us tonight. I'll tell you what we will do. We will take a break. We're going to step out for about 3.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes down the line. When we come back, we're going to have our conversation with Coach Eighth. I had the opportunity yesterday to head out to Darlington School in the Huffman Center, sit and chat with Coach Eighth for a little bit and get some insight into last week's win against Pepperell at Chris Hunter Stadium. Also talk about this matchup, also the last couple of weeks of the season, and of course the playoffs, which are looming in the distance now, the close distance, I should say.
These next 3 weeks, that will all shake out, so it'll be great to hear what Coach Eighth has to say in preparation for this game.
Well, we're going to hear from him in about 3.5 minutes. Let's take a break here on WLAQ and also the live video stream. We'll be back.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We are on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Darlington Football would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's live stream: Business Water Solutions, Coosa Steel, Hardy Realty, Riverside Auto Group, and Atrium Health Floyd. Thank you for your support. This broadcast is a production of Northwest Georgia Media. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back into the pregame, everybody. Glad to be with you tonight here at Armuchee High School, H.A. Lindsay Stadium, as your Darlington Tigers get set to take on the Armuchee Indians. We're with Coach Atha, and Coach, 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in region play. And reviewing last week's conversation, you mentioned several times throughout the conversation how talented that Pepperell was, how well coached they were, and how your guys would have to dig deep and rise to the occasion. Tie game at halftime, you guys were down in the second quarter, but then your guys really stepped up throughout the game and you came out with a victory. So give us some thoughts on last week.
It was just like I thought it would be. We knew Pepperell was going to come in extremely motivated. They're always very physical, always have been. You know, Coach Hurst does a great job over there. They're well coached. So, I mean, we knew it was going to be literally a dogfight from the opening kickoff. And they did a great job of executing early on both sides of the ball. And it took us a little while to regroup. And, you know, boy, that drive right before the end of the half was huge. I think we built a little momentum going in at halftime. And then stopping them coming out of the half, they won the toss and deferred, so they got the football in the second half. And stopping them and then going down and scoring again just kind of, I thought, changed things in our favor significantly.
One of the things certainly worth pointing out is you mentioned last week in the interview what a special player DJ Rogers is, and he scored a couple of touchdowns, had probably close to 100 yards, but he's been gashing teams for 300 yards a lot of games this season, so I thought you guys on defense did a really good job of bottling him up for the most part.
Oh, I think so. I think our kids, it was a challenge to them. I think they accepted the challenge, and he really ran the ball well at times, but for the most part, we kept him bottled up, and it's a tribute to Coach Hunt and the defensive staff and our players on defense for how hard they played.
Well, our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game last week was Eli Thompson. I think he had close to 130 yards, a couple of touchdowns, one rushing, one passing, and one of the things that just really sticks out about that young man is how versatile he is of a player. You can ask him to do a lot of different things, and he really steps up up in big moments.
Yeah, he's difficult to defend because we can move him around so much. I mean, he understands the game. You know, we can split him out wide. We can put him in the slot. We can snap the ball directly to him. I mean, he's a super talented young man. And he's you know, an unbelievable coverage guy on the defensive side of the ball as well. So there's a reason he has an offer from Holy Cross. He's been a blessing to us, and we're very excited about what he'll do the remainder of the season.
And then not to mention, you mentioned Holy Cross. Of course, he's got a great family. His brother played for the team last year. And you talk about wanting to have good football players but high character people on your football team. And he certainly is a great example of that.
Absolutely. That is exactly right. He has tremendous character. He's got a great work ethic. Comes from a great family. They've been super supportive, and we're just blessed to have him in the program.
Now, Coach, I don't want to steal any thunder from this week's winner, but I have to ask you, how did the big boys like the cupcakes last week?
They were a big hit. They came in. I got to be honest with you. I shared those cupcakes amongst every lineman we have because, you know, a lot of what they did was by virtue of what the guys lining up across from them in practice did during the week, and I felt like they deserved it too. So everybody got a sliver, so to speak.
And I bet those slivers were gone quick.
Well, they went down in one gulp, as a matter of fact.
I appreciate you humoring that question there. Of course, Honeymoon Bakery does a great job with that and has sponsored that segment at the end of the game for a number of years, and we really enjoy that tradition. It's hard to make the choice at the end of the game, I can tell you that, though.
Yeah, and I understand that. And as a coach, that's one of the difficult things. I absolutely hate the end of the year, all region, all area, and all those kind of things because there's just so many, you know, every player makes a just as important a contribution as the other, and so I feel your pain on that.
Well, Coach, let's talk about this week's opponent, Armuchee. They've gotten better over the last couple of seasons. I know there was an announcement earlier this week with Coach Green because of some family health issues and things of that nature, which everybody knows about by this point, having to deal with and stepping down. So I would imagine these guys, he's really captivated their attention and emotion and all that kind of stuff. So I know they're going to play hard for him. And like I say, they've gotten better over the last couple of years. So they're going to come ready to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, there'll probably be some added motivation there for Coach Green because he's not just a great football coach. He's as fine a man as I've gotten to know. And obviously, he has instilled discipline and character in that program over there. And it reflects by the way they show up on film. They're very well coached. You know, they're young and they play extremely hard and they're physical. It's going to be another one of those local rivalry games that's going to be very emotional and there's going to, you know, be a lot of enthusiasm and we've got to go over to their place. And so, you know, certainly a big challenge tonight.
And that brings up another question. I know one of the things that happens when you do get these local rivalries, we saw some of it last week, is making sure that guys maintain their composure in intense situations. And let's face it, you know, as competitive as coaches and players and everybody involved in sports are, sometimes that can be a challenge. So how do you guys address that with your players? Because obviously that can be a big key to the games.
Well, football is an emotional sport. You know, I've always said you can't play this game without emotion. You just have to try to channel it. Can't let your emotions get the best of you. It's also a physical sport. And when you've got teenage boys that are running into each other full speed and the emotional part of it, from time to time it may go a little bit far. And so you just try to make sure that you emphasize to your kids, you know, keep it between the whistles and make sure that you execute the technique that you're supposed to execute and get back up and do it again the next play and not let things that are out of your control affect you.
Well, Coach, I wanted to ask you one more question before we wrap up. As you get to this point of the season, what are some of the key emphasis situations in practice, things that you're looking for as a head coach as you continue to try to improve and get yourself ready for that third part of the season, the playoffs, which is looming in the distance? I know you're focused on this week, but what are you looking for this week in preparation?
We've talked about it all year. It's taking that next step. You know, I've said you want to be a much better team in late October and November than you are in August and September. And so we still don't feel like we played our best football yet. We've got a lot of areas to improve. The other thing is maintaining that balance. You've got to keep your edge and the physicality, but at the same time, you don't want to get anybody hurt during the week. And so finding that balance is extremely important. We've had tremendous enthusiasm at practice. Our guys have fun at practice. I have fun at practice. I've said all along, if I get to the point where I quit enjoying being out there, I need to go do something else. I don't think it has to be a miserable experience. It's biblical to everything. There is a season. You gotta be focused and you gotta be intense, but you also have to be able to enjoy it too and show the kids that it's enjoyable.
Well, I got to admit to you, Coach, just being around the program, seeing your enthusiasm, your coaches and players, and the enthusiasm from the community right now, it's just a great era of Darlington football. And, of course, the crowds have been unbelievable at these games. Had just really made a lot of noise and very enthusiastic as well. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of been what I'd hoped this year would be. I mean, obviously you want to win. There's no question about that. But just the crowds and the local rivalries and the interest. We've just had tremendous student support. The students have been unbelievable this year. They went and they started a thing early in the year whenever we'd score a touchdown, doing push-ups. So somebody took a folding table into the stands, and that wasn't very safe. So they kind of moved it down to the track, and now some of the kids on their own have gone out and built and painted a table that they can hold up for other kids to do push-ups on. So, it's that kind of stuff that makes it fun.
I love it, man. It's fantastic. Well, thank you for your time today. There's nothing like Friday nights, and there's certainly nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night.
Amen to that, Matt. It's always a pleasure.
All right, that's going to put a wrap on our conversation with Coach Atha for this week. Hope you enjoy the game tonight. Toe meets leather at 7:30. It's your Darlington Tigers at Armuchee Indians, H.A. Lindsay Stadium, looking to make it 9-0, more importantly 5-0 in region play, and we'll know at the end of the night. Toe meets leather soon. We'll be back. here live at H.A. Lindsay Stadium, Armuchee High School. They're playing on Naaman Wiseman Field tonight. It's your Darlington Tigers going head-to-head with the Armuchee Indians here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk a little bit about the matchup. We'll talk about your Darlington Tigers. We mentioned 4-0 in region play. Ian, Darlington, in terms of offense, they have been absolutely explosive, utilizing a lot of different weapons that they have for Jack Good, who has been outstanding at quarterback, has been poised and maintained a lot of composure throughout the season. He's been unbelievable, and he's got a lot of guys that he can deal that football to.
Absolutely. It's funny. I was having a conversation with some fans on the street, and they said, the most improved, it didn't shock them, but the most improved player and the one that has been the biggest surprise is Jack Good's play at quarterback. He has just been excellent all season, getting better every game. He's got tons of weapons. You never know who's going to break the next big play. Talon Shirey, Eli Thompson, D-Man Floyd. He can hit any of these guys on the fly. You've got Braden Bell, Thomas Bethel. You just keep reeling off names, and none of them shock you when they make a big play.
Never, man. And, of course, to talk about what happened last week, of course, the Darlington Tigers defeated Pepperell. It was Pepperell's first region loss of the season. Final score was 34-14. Darlington trailed 7-0 in the second quarter. It was tied at half, and then after a stop to start the second half, the Tigers really started to take over that football game when everything would shake out. Jack Good was 13 of 17 passing, had 165 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Eli Thompson was our Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game, had close to 130 yards from scrimmage, and he scored a couple of touchdowns, one on a touchdown catch and then also one rushing. So he had a big game, and he's one of those guys. Coach Atha was talking about him just a few minutes ago in our pregame interview, talking about he's so dangerous because you can line him up and do a lot of different things with him. We saw that last week.
Yeah, we did. He took 2 Wildcat snaps. Both were successful. One of them went for that last touchdown of the game. He beat the defense over the top on a post pattern that was just gorgeous. Dime thrown by Good. Great route by Thompson. It was one of those, as soon as the ball left Good's hand, I just remember pointing because it was going to be a touchdown. There was no doubt about it. Just a beautiful route. But, yeah, you can bring him in motion and run the jet sweep. Anything you want to do, Eli's got the talent to do it. And that's one of those, it's a great advantage for a coaching staff to have a player like that. And he's not the only one that can be utilized that way.
No doubt about it. A lot of options there on the offensive side of the ball. And, of course, we always talk about the big guys up front. Talked a lot about them in the pregame interview from a couple of weeks ago, winning the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game award, and of course asked Coach Atha about delivering those cupcakes and what they thought of them, and he just kind of talked about how quickly they devoured them. So we were glad that was a great success, and congratulations to those guys again, because they've earned the heck out of it all season long.
No doubt about it, man. It was a great effort for them a few weeks back. They've played great all season. When you talk about this Darlington team, I think every game, the first thing we start with is they're great up front on both sides of the ball. They're going to mash you and move you and win the battle at the line of scrimmage. They've been able to do that all season long. Last week was a great test for them. Pepperell pushed back. Pepperell played them very, very tough in the trenches, especially in the first half. And I don't know if you researched it, but we were pretty sure that was the first time Darlington has trailed this season when they went down 7-0 to Pepperell. So for the first time all year, Darlington had to fight back. Things didn't necessarily go their way in that first half until they scored late. It was a big touchdown. It changed the momentum of the game. They ended up scoring 28 unanswered before Pepperell picked up a late touchdown. So it was nice to see the Tigers have to respond after several weeks of kind of coasting to victory.
No question about it. Now we'll talk a little bit about the Armuchee Indians playing at home tonight. Last game for them. Well, last week they actually had a bye week, but that was after a 45-7 loss at the hands of the Pepperell Dragons. That was down in Lindale. One of the things we pointed out earlier, but if you're just tuning in, we'll go ahead and mention, and you may have heard this if you read the Rome News-Tribune, but the news came out earlier this week that after the season concludes, Jeremy Green, their head coach of now 5 seasons, is going to be stepping down, and I think most people know that he's dealt with some health issues over the last couple of years dealing with some cancer, and I believe the cancer's in remission, all that kind of stuff. But, with the health issues he's had and dealing with some other things, it's just been a heavy weight to bear for family and things of that nature, and he had to make the tough decision to step down. You hate to see that because last year they won 5 games. It was the first time, since they went 5-4, it was the first time they were above 500 in a number of years. And, of course, this year they're off to a pretty decent start, and they've definitely built a good foundation for this team. I think he's going to leave this program in a better place than he found it, which is what you always want to do. But let's face it, it's Jeremy Green's dream job to be the head coach at Armuchee, so that was not a decision he took lightly whatsoever, and you hate to see him have to make that choice because I know that hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this team grow year after year after year. They've gotten better. It's been noticeable, the improvement, and then it started to show up in the win column, especially last year. Got off to a good start again this year. They're playing in a tough region. We'll see how things shake out for them the rest of the way. But what I do expect right now is you have to get buy-in to build a program that way. These players respect their coach, and I'm sure they respect his decision, and there was a long chat that he had with his players. And I expect him to come out in this game with a lot of emotion. Hopefully they can keep that emotion under control for their execution in this ball game. But I think Armuchee is going to give their very best effort. Not that they wouldn't have before, but I think there'll be a little something extra in the way they go out and play this game for their coach tonight.
I couldn't agree with you more, and certainly want to wish the best to Coach Green and his family. And he's just a great guy. He got to know him over the last several years. I know back in the day when my dad called high school sports in the area, they built a relationship during those years when he played at Armuchee and were buddies, and just hate to see that choice have to be made, and certainly we wish him and his family the best of luck. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break. The captains are making their way out on the field. We're going to step out for 3 minutes. We come back, we'll give you the results of the coin toss and the captains, and we'll get you ready for toe to meet leather here from H.A. Lindsay Stadium. It's your Darlington Tigers and the Armuchee Indians. Big region game coming up right here on WLAQ and the Darlington School live stream. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
this football game. Real quick, we'll let you know the captains for tonight. Chandler DeSanto for Armuchee, as well as Jaden Bunch. You also had Luke Williams, as well as Blake Mathis for the Darlington Tigers. You would have Jack Cowan, Bow Nowens, Bryant Powell, and then also Logan Floyd, and that's your captains. Darlington would win the toss. Ian, they deferred to the second half, so we're going to get a look at this Armuchee offense to start the football game.
Darlington likes to go out and let their defense set the tone, but we've seen that this Armuchee offense can put up points, and we'll see if they can come out and what kind of game plan they have, because you know that there's going to be a really good rush just with the front four for Darlington.
You've got Jacob Seagraves and also Colton Phillips for the Armuchee Indians back to attempt to return the kick. They're going to be standing around the 5-yard line. You're going to have Seagraves over on the far hash. And, of course, they're going to be working from right to left on your radio dial. And we are just about ready to go at game time. It's 62 degrees out here at Armuchee High School. The air is just right for football. It's a beautiful night. Not many clouds in the sky. I see some stars out there. It's a wonderful night. And, of course, the Darlington Tigers are about to kick it off. They're wearing their white uniforms, pants and jerseys. And here comes Tommy Bethel trotting to the ball. The kickoff is on the way, and it is going to be fielded right around the goal line, steps into the end zone. He's going to run it out up the middle of the field. He's going to be tackled at about the 15-yard line. That's where the Armuchee Indians offense will set up shop for the first drive of the game.
Yeah, great coverage there by the Darlington special teams. They've been rock solid in that capacity all season long. Interesting choice to bring that one out. Feel like maybe his momentum just got the best of him there, but 15-yard line's not too bad of starting field position.
Chandler DeSanto is the starting quarterback here for this Armuchee football team. He is a senior this year, brings a lot of experience and leadership to the football team. He's done a great job for Jeremy Green and his coaching staff this year. Going to send a couple of wide receivers out to the far side as they line out with everybody else in tight from the gun as we get ready for DeSanto to take the first snap of the game. It's a little high, pulls it down. He's going to run it off to the near side, and running back with the football was Jackson Coonley, and he is going to pick up, I believe, a short gain of about a yard or two on first down.
Yeah, just a little delayed handoff there, going off the left edge. Tried to bounce it, but you had Jack Cowan, Talon Shirey, and I believe Joe Lowenberg was in on that tackle as well, so a host of Tigers.
He actually took a loss, so that brings up 2nd and 11. Empty backfield here for Chandler DeSanto as he gets ready to take the snap with 3 wide receivers over here to the near side and 1 on the far side. So we get ready for DeSanto to take the snap. It's in his hands, drops back, Scott Company puts the ball in the air, and that's going to sail over the receiver's head, incomplete, setting up a 3rd down and long.
I like that for DeSanto. Obviously, they know that Darlington is going to get to the quarterback quickly. That was a 3-step drop. DeSantos threw a long ball. He just drifted out of bounds. Didn't really give his receiver a chance to catch that, but the timing patterns could be a good strategy for the Indians against this very, very heavy pass rush that Darlington brings, and that doesn't always require a blitz.
So the Indians lose a yard on the first play from scrimmage, then an incomplete pass. This sets up a 3rd down and 11 with the ball at the 14-yard line, with the Indians still in their own territory trying to get a positive play here.
And it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. When Armuchee wears that pink, it pops with the blue, man. You can't help but see it.
It truly does. It's a pink out here tonight at Armuchee High School. Going to have a couple of wide receivers over on the far side. Just looking for the play clock. I don't see it, do you?
I don't either, Matt.
Shouldn't be a lot of time left here before we snap this ball. We get ready for the snap here on 3rd and 11. There it is. DeSanto turns, fires up the middle of the field. That's going to be incomplete. He had his hands around it, couldn't hang on, and that's going to set up a 3 and out.
A good pass there by DeSantos. He put that ball right where it needed to be. It was a tough catch, almost made by the Armuchee receiver, but again, they're going with these timing patterns. He was forced to fire off his back foot, but he put that ball right where it had to go, only where his receiver could get it. McKay Rush was on the coverage for Darlington. It was tight coverage, but Darlington goes 3 and out. Armuchee goes 3 and out. -1 yards on that particular drive, and they'll have to punt.
Talon Showery stands at the 45-yard line. There's the punt off the foot of DeSanto. It's going to roll back inside the 50 and down to about the 47 where it'll die, and that's going to be great field position for this Tigers offense. It's been red hot.
They have started fast every game but last week. Last week they were shut out in the first quarter for the first time all season by Pepperell, so we'll see if they get back to their normal trend of scoring and scoring quickly.
So the Tigers' first drive of the game is going to begin with 10:27 left to go in the first quarter as Armuchee goes 3 and out on the first possession of the football game. And now we get a look at that red-hot Darlington Tigers offense. They're going to be lining up, working from left to right, trips to the near side, one receiver on the far side. Demarion Floyd's in the backfield, motions right. They're going to swing it out to the right side of the field, get him in space. He's across the 50, down to the 40. He's breaking a big one, cuts inside. Nobody's going to get him to the 10, 5, gone. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers on the first play from scrimmage, and that's going to be a 53-yard play to pay dirt there for the Tigers on the first play of the game for them on offense.
And it was a lateral, Matt. I don't know. I will have to figure out how to, but that was definitely behind the line of scrimmage, that pass. So Floyd had an opportunity to throw that if he wanted it. So I guess that's a run for 53 yards for D-Man Floyd.
53-yard run to pay dirt for the Tigers, and they get ready for Ryland Scott to try to tack on the extra point and make this 7-0, and that happened quickly.
13 seconds to be exact.
Konchesky getting ready for the hold. Snap on the way. Hold looks good. Kick on the way, and that one's going to be right through, and the game is now 7-0 in favor of your Darlington Tigers.
Well, we wondered if they would start quickly. You can't start much quicker than that. One play, 53 yards, and you're up 7-0.
That's an astute observation.
Thanks. You know, there's a little bit in between these ears. Not too much. Oh, man, it's good to be back at Armuchee, Matt. We cut our teeth in this press box, so it's fun to be back out here.
Yeah, back in the day when we had 95.7 The Ridge, we had a game of the week that we did on the Ridge for a number of years, and that's when Ian and I started doing football games together. And like he said, we cut our teeth out here and did a ton of games back during the John Mullinax hour when they were running the triple option a la Paul Johnson. And that was a lot of fun. They had some good teams over those few years.
Yeah, they would sling the ball around the yard, too. They didn't just run the option. They definitely had a good downfield passing game, a couple of great receivers.
Marshall Hudson and Hayden Vaughn, if I remember correctly. Zach Payne, the quarterback, had good, big offensive linemen those years.
Fun teams to watch.
Well, the Tigers have it teed off, and they're going to kick it back to the Indians. Going to send Jacob Seagraves to the far side, standing at the 10-yard line. Then here on the near side again, you're going to have number 22, Colton Phillips. Kick is on the way. That was going to be end over end, a high kick that's going to be fielded at about the 9. It'll be brought out by Phillips, and he's going to stay up. There's a flag that comes in. He got out to about the 21 or 22, but what is this, a block in the back?
A hold, most likely. I don't think they had time to set up a block in the back. Yep, there will be a hold on Darlington or on Armuchee. And that will back them up probably half the distance to the goal line. We'll see where the officials spot the ball. That flag was thrown by the back judge. Indeed, it was a holding. First penalty of the game. Half the distance, and this one will start at the 10-yard line.
So the first drive for the Indians started at the 15. They would run it one time for a loss, then a couple incomplete passes, and would have to punt their first drive. So trying to get a little something going here on the first down of their second drive of the game. Under center is DeSanto. He takes the snaps, going to try to run it up the middle, and there's nothing there but a wall of Tigers there, Ian.
And, man, you're running into the teeth of this Tigers defense when you go between the tackles. They are absolutely stacked. Big Gus Gamage, Gatlin Hancock, Truett Hayworth. I'm telling you, man, they've just got big bodies everywhere you look. Bryant Powell.
They were able to gain a little bit there, so that sets up a 2nd down and 9 here for the Armuchee Indians. They're going to line up under center, power I formation. Quarterback drops back. He's got company. Jack Cowan all over him and brings him to the turf.
They're going to spot that right outside the end zone. Almost a safety there from Jack Cowan, who has been seeing a lot of action at that defensive end position and has really been making a lot of plays these last few weeks.
Yeah, you talk about guys that have really improved and made a name for themselves this season. He is certainly one of those guys, made a lot of great defensive plays throughout the year. You're correct about that. 9:05 left to go here in the quarter. Darlington leads at 7-0. The Armuchee Indians with their backs up against the wall, against their own goal line with 3rd down and 18 at the 1-yard line. So in dangerous territory, going to have to snap this ball into their own end zone, Ian.
You just want to get this, you want to give your punter a little breathing room if possible.
So Chandler DeSanto gets ready to take the snap. He's got the ball, hands it off quickly, and they get a little bit of breathing room on that run. And that was number 3 with the carry, Jackson Coonley. So all in all, for the Indians, I think you have to consider getting a little bit of space, as you pointed out, as a success.
Yeah, negative. Right now they're in the negative with their total yards and have gone 3 and out twice, and we'll have to punt this one away. And we've talked a lot about the dangerous capability of Talon Shirey when he's returning kicks, especially punts. He has made some game-changing plays, and he awaits this punt at the Armuchee 34. So the starting field position is going to be excellent here for Darlington.
So Chandler DeSanto is going to punt it away here for the Tigers. Nope, he's going to throw it. It's a fake, puts the ball in the air, and it's going to be caught. They get a 1st down, stay up, and he brings it all the way down to the 35. So maybe caught him a little bit flat-footed there.
Now that is a scripted fake right there. I mean, just a moon ball there by DeSanto, and it was reeled in. I'm going to get the number here.
Was that
number
Hayden
13?
Phillips? Nope.
Luke Lively. Luke Lively with a huge reception there on 4th down. So rolling the dice from the 3-yard line.
Going to send 3 wide receivers this time. 1st and 10 now for the Indians as they got the ball on the 35-yard line. There's the snap. Going to hand it off and try to run it to the near side. Maybe got a yard on the play. Not much doing on that play. Jackson Coonley, the ball carrier. So it's no gain. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Indians. So rolled the dice on 4th down, threw the ball, passed to Lively, converted the 4th down. Now they're going to send 4 wide receivers to the near side and a diamond. 1 wide receiver to the far side. Empty backfield here for quarterback Chandler DeSanto. And they got a couple of stripes on their jerseys on the sides. I keep thinking it's 11s. There's the snap, a throw, and it's going to be incomplete. A little bit low for Jacob Seagraves, but he felt like he could come up with it. You could see it on his reaction.
Well, I mean, Jack Cowan came free off the edge and just had a free run to the quarterback and hit him as he was throwing. Otherwise, that's a completion. So Armuchee's getting open. They're trying to throw the timing patterns because they know the pass rush is going to be coming quick, and they're just a fraction off from hitting some of these big plays, but another 3rd and long here.
Going to have 3 wide receivers off to the far side this time, 1 to the near side, working right to left here on 3rd and 10 with the ball at the Armuchee 35. They do get their first down of the game here on this drive on the fake punt as we get ready for the snap to DeSanto. 1 man in the backfield with him. Passes on the way out to the right side. Connects with his wide receiver. Nice grab there by Colton Phillips. Exciting play. And that's going to set up 4th down. So I would assume we'll see the Indians punt here.
We will see. They already rolled the dice once on a fake punt, but they caught Darlington sleeping a little bit there. They will bring out the punt team here. But the fake at least has the ability to swing field position for the Indians. They got out from their own goal line. Now they can punt it away and see if the defense can go get a stop.
So Chandler DeSanto, who is also the quarterback of this football team, handles the punting duties, and as we've discovered already, gives you an added layer of something to think about here on 4th down. But I seriously doubt they're going to try that 2 times in a row. Here's the snap. Here is the kick. And that'll be a spiraling kick, drops into Talon Shirey at about the 20. He's going to bring it out, being chased around, shakes off a couple of defenders. Flag comes in. He's still on his feet down to the 40. This is probably coming back, but he's down to the 40 now. On the other side of the field, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in the end zone, but again, you got to look at that flag that's down at about the 20 on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah,
impressive run nonetheless.
You always hate that for the return guy because they're just making guys miss, but that was an early flag, so it took the excitement out of it for us because they dropped that one and you know it's coming back, but a great return. Nonetheless, would have been an 80-yard touchdown return for Shirey, but they'll be bringing that one back, and Darlington will start deep in their own territory.
Of course, a couple of weeks ago up at Chattooga County, we saw Talon Shirey run a kickback 65 yards for a touchdown, so anytime you kick the ball to him, he's a step away from breaking the big one in the end.
No doubt about it.
Glad you're with us tonight on WLAQ and also the live Darlington School video stream. Coming up after the game tonight's the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. Last week, as we mentioned to you, it was Eli Thompson, had a couple of touchdowns, 130 yards. Has suspected the flags against the Tigers. It's coming back. March off the penalty yards.
See where they mark this ball. It's going to be right at the Darlington 10.
So the Tigers will take over on their own 9-yard line, be first and 10.
Well, their last drive was one play to D-Man Floyd, and he was gone. Shirey just showed us his ability to make the big play, so Darlington's putting it all on display here early, but they're going to have to go the full length of the field on this second drive.
Darlington leads at 7-0. 5:31 left to go here in the opening quarter of football here from H.A. Lindsay Stadium at Armuchee High School. Shotgun formation, 2 wide to the far side, 1 on the near. Jack Good ready to take the snap. Ball's in his hands. Turns, hands it off. A delayed handoff to Demarion Floyd. Gets some room on the edge on the far side. He's running down the sideline. Stays up. And he's pushed out of bounds across the 30, around the 34-yard line. So a big pickup over 20 yards there for D-Man Floyd there on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, 24 yards and a Parker and Lundy first down, Matt, for the Tigers. And Floyd has 2 carries already for over 70, I think he's around 77 yards there.
They go back to the line of scrimmage quick. There's the snap. Good. Drops back, looking to throw. Toss over to Braden Bell, and he's across the 40 down to the 45. Takes a heavy hit, as you can hear from the reaction of the Armuchee fans. The man dealing the blow was Luke Williams, but another first down. Parker and Lundy first down for the Indians.
Moving the football right now, Matt. Very impressive. We're seeing the dichotomy of this offense. They've just got so many different playmakers.
Ball at the Darlington 45-yard line. They have the ball in a 7-0 lead with a first down. Working from left to right. Good is now going to have Joel Owenberg in the backfield with him. Going to send 2 wide on each side. Stacked receivers as he gets ready to call the play at the line of scrimmage to his big lineman up front. There's the snap, turns, hands off, Lowenberg up the middle, and he's going to pull the pile for about 3 or 4 yards. So as we've seen throughout the season, Ian, another hard run from Lowenberg.
Yeah, just a nice little dive play there, right up the middle, and Lowenberg puts his head down and fights for 4 tough yards.
So that sets up 2nd down and 6 here for the Darlington Tigers with the ball on the 48-yard line on their side of the field. Going to go with a similar formation with those stacked receivers on each side. We've under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Darlington scored on their first play from scrimmage in the game on a 53-yard run from Demarion Floyd. And now they get ready for 2nd down and 7. Here's the snap to Good. Turns, hands it off. They're going to run it with Lowenberg again. Breaks 3 from the pile. Carries a couple of guys with him. They finally get him down, and that's another first down, Ian.
Yeah, Parker and Lundy first down, the 3rd of this drive. And Lowenberg, who likes to lower the boom on defense. He was dubbed the freshman last year because he played beyond his years. This year he's getting a lot of carries on offense, and he just showed us he's not easy to take down.
He is really not. He is quite the load. That brings up 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Now at the Armuchee 41-yard line, going to send trips to the far side, 1 receiver to the near. Working from left to right. Good. With Lowenberg remaining in the backfield. He is going to drop back this time, looking to throw, trying to find somebody open, throws it off the left side to Shirey. I saw a flag come in. Shirey breaks free of a couple of tackles. He's inside the 20, but I believe this one's coming back.
Yeah, I think that Shirey was a good second or third read, but he had all day to, the time to eat a sandwich back there, and I guess there was a reason for that, as there's a hanky on the field, and that one's going to come back. Darlington's first penalty of the night will cost them a first down.
So the first several drives of this game have really gashed the time here in the first quarter. Darlington leads at 7-0. We're already under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's really chewed up the minutes.
Just a picture of efficiency. Other than the penalty, Darlington has just chewed up the yards on this drive. It started all the way back at their own 10-yard line. The penalty is going to take them back into Darlington territory at the 49. But it's been an impressive drive so far. They are now behind the chains with a 1st and 20.
Going to have 4 wide receivers here for this play. This time, Bowden Owens is going to be flanked to the left of the quarterback, Jack Good. And they're going to go back with those stacked receivers on each side of the formation here for 1st and 20, as you mentioned. There's a snap. Good drops back. Ball is going to be tipped. Good defense by the Armuchee Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. They brought a blitz that time around. I'm trying to catch the young man who made it through. I can't see it on the replay, unfortunately, but a great defensive play there to get through and get their hands up and knock down the pass.
So that's going to set up a 2nd down and 20 here for the Tigers with the ball at the 49-yard line, and it looks like the Tigers are going to burn a timeout. So we're going to do the same thing down the line. 2:31 left to go, first quarter. Darlington up 7-0 over Armuchee here in a road game, a region game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Night, then with the Darlington Tigers wherever they're playing tonight, it's at H.A. Lindsay Stadium, Naaman Wiseman Field. Armuchee High School want to take the opportunity to thank the administration for giving us permission to come out here and broadcast the game tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The hospitality has been appreciated, continues to be, and just a great night for football here. Darlington's jumped out to the early lead, but Armuchee's trying to fight back and get a stop here.
Here are the Tigers on 2nd and 20 from the 49-yard line. 4 wide receiver set. Dropping back is Goods. Going to throw a screen to Bowden Owens. He's across the 50, down to the 40, right up the middle of the field. Spins around. He's got the first down as he's across the 30-yard line. Another big play for this Tigers offense.
23-yard pickup there for Bowden Owens. They set up the screen well. They let those Armuchee defenders slide through. They were coming down hard on Good, but he threw a nice high ball to his halfback target, and Bowden Owens, who has just been a monster this year, makes a few guys miss.
Tigers hurry. They're going to turn, hand it off to Owens right up the gut this time. He gashes them for about another 8 yards.
And they're spreading the ball around. Everybody's getting an opportunity to carry the rock. What a drive here by Darlington.
1:48 remains here in the first quarter of the football game. Darlington leading it 7-0, but they got the ball right now at the Armuchee 23, so they're threatening here late in this first quarter to tack on some more. Going to send a couple of wide receivers off to the far side, working left to right, one to the near side. That's Braden Bell. Owens in the backfield with Good. Good drops back. He is going to fake, puts the ball in the air, open receiver in the end zone, dives up, and there's a flag that comes in. There was some contact, and that's going to be a pass interference call. And I'm trying to catch the number of the receiver there. Ian, have you called it?
I am
He's
too.
kind of
Looked like number 9. I thought it was Gray Fricks, but
he's running right here.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll turn where we can catch it. Now he's kind of leaning down, checking some equipment. Number 5, that was Eli Thompson.
Eli Thompson, okay.
Yeah, he was turned. We couldn't catch his number. But the way he was streaking towards the end zone.
Should have known.
Should have definitely known.
Should have known.
But after the pass interference call, that's going to bring the Tigers down. What is that, about the 12-yard line? Nope. 11-yard line, excuse me.
Remember, this drive started all the way back at the Darlington 10.
So the Tigers now have a first down. They've got the ball in the red zone at the 11-yard line. Going to have Bowden Owens in the backfield here with Jack Good when we get ready for the first down snap. There's the snap, a handoff to Owens, and he is going to be brought down immediately. That's going to be a loss.
A good defense there by that Armuchee Indians defense.
2-yard loss. Ryland Steen on the stop there for the Armuchee Indians. Demarion Floyd is now going to check back into the game.
Yet another weapon.
Boy,
he loves to find the end zone.
Second down and 12. We get ready for the snap, and we're going to have a timeout called.
Yep, Armuchee.
Armuchee's going to burn one, as you pointed out. 52.4 seconds left. First quarter, Darlington leads at 7-0. We'll come back for second and 12 from the red zone after a 30-second break. Stadium, where your Darlington Tigers have a 7-0 lead over the Armuchee Indians. Indians playing at home tonight. We want to take an opportunity real quick to thank our radio sponsors, Atrium Health Floyd, Honeymoon Bakery, and the icing on the cake player of the game. Riverside Auto Group, Avery Drugs, Georgia Northwestern Technical College, Harbin Clinic, Parker and Lundy, Rome Orthopedic Center, Ware Mechanical, and La Scala, because without them it wouldn't be possible for us to do this and bring you coverage of local football and the Darlington Tigers right here on WLAQ. 52.4 seconds on the clock. I think somebody's smoking a cigar right in front of the press box. You smell that?
Smells like it.
We get ready for the snap from the pistol. 2 wide set on the far side, 1 on the near. It's going to be a pitch to Demarion Floyd. Gets to the edge on the left, and he is going to go untouched into the end zone. A 12-yard run for the Darlington Tigers for their second score of the game and second for D-Man Floyd.
Indeed, and he's already had some cupcakes this season, but he's making an argument once again. Matt, what an impressive drive by Darlington. That was 90 yards and capped off with a Demarion Floyd 12-yard touchdown.
So with 47.3 ticks left on the clock here in the first quarter, Darlington goes up by 2 scores, 13-0. Ryland Scott is on for the extra point. Made the first one here in the game, and typically he is automatic. Konchesky gets ready for the snap. Takes the hold, kick on the way, and that one is right through the middle of the uprights. He's dialed in. It's 14-0.
And this Darlington scoring celebration is brought to you by La Scala. Book your holiday parties today and celebrate with La Scala Mediterranean Bistro.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Right? Hey, man, have you ever gone? Have you enjoyed some of the ahi tuna nachos?
I've never had the ahi tuna nachos, but it does definitely sound like something that's right up my alley. I'm a big seafood fan.
It's something else, Matt. You'd enjoy it.
Well, we will not have any Georgia Tech football for you coming up tomorrow on WLAQ, as they played last night down at the Flats. Ian and I kind of toyed around with the idea of going, but it was going to be kind of hard to pull that off with everything going on at the end of the week and get ready for a game. And I'm going to be honest with you, and we would have had a good time because we always do. But as far as the game's concerned, I'm glad I watched that one on TV.
Defense played their tail off, but when Jeff Sims left the game, early in the second half, it was apparent Georgia Tech does not have a backup quarterback. It was a problem.
It was a major problem. Of course, both offenses in that game were not very good. I know it was a close game in terms of the scoreboard, but it wasn't a pretty game by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it wasn't. And I hope Jeff Sims is not hurt too badly, because without him, Brent Key's run at trying to secure a head coaching job is over, which I still think is for the best.
Tommy Bethel runs the ball, kicks it. I think this one is going to sail into the end zone, and it bounces around. I thought for a second there it was going to stop at the 1 yard line.
You put a little spin on that one, hit the Titleist Pro V1 in there with some backspin, and Darlington could have been sitting pretty for a third possession. That was playing with fire a little bit, running away from that one before it went through the end zone, but it did indeed cross the threshold, and Armuchee will start this drive out at their own 20.
Which, by the way, is their best field position of the football game so far. They've started their 15, their 10, and now they're 20.
And the only real positive play they've had was about a 25-yard fake punt that was a sky ball pass. A really creative design on that fake. They had obviously practiced it, and they executed it well.
They really, truly did. Got a first down, as you mentioned, on that play. Now they're going to line up in a gun. We're going to send a few wide receivers to the far side, one on the near. DeSanto takes the snap. He's going to pull it and run, a designed run, and he is going to get stopped. Might have got a yard.
Jack Chandler in there making the play.
Nope, that's going to be no gain, so that brings up 2nd and 10 here for the Armuchee Indians, working from right to left, and we've only got 25 seconds left on the clock, so we've almost got the first quarter of this football game in the books. As a matter of fact, we may not see another snap as the clock winds down. 14-0. Darlington Tigers lead it. A couple of touchdowns from Demarion Floyd here in this first quarter of play. 5 seconds left on the clock here in the first quarter, and they will not snap the ball. That's the end of the first quarter. Darlington leads it 14-0 on the road, playing the Armuchee Indians. Let's step out for 1 minute. We'll be back with more Darlington football on WLAQ and the live video stream.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our 2 founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Third drive of the football game extends into the second quarter. We're now starting the second quarter of play. We swap sides of the field. Armuchee now working from left to right. Company in the backfield throws the ball. That's going to be incomplete in no man's land.
That was the first bad decision of the evening for DeSanto. He had time, and he fired that one into a crowd. Could have been picked off.
11:55 left here in our second quarter. That brings up 3rd down and 10 here for the Indians. Looks like Jaden Bunch out onto the field here for the Indians. Going to split wide to the left side. Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show after tonight's action with Lynn and Austin, and they got a special guest tonight. Here comes the snap with an empty backfield here for DeSanto. It's picked off. That's going to be Joel Lowenberg coming down with it. He's going to be brought down shy of the goal line by a few yards, but that'll be an interception again by Joel.
Yeah, and that, Darlington's been getting home with their front 4, so Lowenberg had sat down in coverage, and I don't think DeSanto ever saw him. He was trying to hit a quick slant. Lowenberg was right there. That ball was in the breadbasket. He almost housed it for the pick 6, but instead it will set up Darlington at the 4 or 5 yard line. Man, it's hard for me to see.
5.
Okay.
Well, it says 5 on the scoreboard, so let's roll with that for now. But nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Darlington Tigers. They already lead at 14-0, and we're 11 seconds into the second quarter of the game, and potentially going to score again. Jack Good gets ready to take the snap. Ball's in his hands. He'll turn, hands it off. It's with Bowden. Owen spins into the end zone for 5 yards. That's another Darlington touchdown, and the Tigers now lead it 20-0 pending the PAT.
Bowden Owens got in easy there. Just a handoff off the left edge. He made one guy miss and took it to the house. So on third down, Armuchee throws a pick. Lowenberg almost takes it to the house, sets Darlington up with a 1st and goal from the 5. One play later, they're up 20-0 with the PAT pending. Quick start. We talked about it. Darlington has done it all year, minus 1 week. They have jumped out to big leads.
Here comes the snap. Point after attempt is going to be right down Broadway, and now the Darlington Tigers lead it 21-0. Had plenty of leg. It went off the scoreboard there, Ian.
Yeah, Scott boomed want to remind you guys, this Darlington scoring celebration is brought to you by La Scala. Book your holiday parties today and celebrate with La Scala Mediterranean Bistro.
So the Joel Lowenberg interception sets the Darlington Tigers up at the Armuchee 5-yard line, and then Bowden Owens runs into the end zone, spins around at the end of the play to grab another touchdown for the Tigers.
So the Tigers have done it every way you can do it so far. On offense, they've had 2 one-play drives. One was a 53-yard run, the other a 5, and then they sandwiched that in with a 10-play, 90-yard drive that was capped off with a 12-yard run by Demarion Floyd. So they're picking up big chunks of yardage on the ground. So far, Jack Good, 2 for 3 for 23 yards, or actually 33 yards. So he's been accurate when he's passed, but out to a big lead. And this Tigers defense shows no signs of letting up.
Kind of hard to believe that we don't have any Braves baseball for you on the radio this week. An early exit for the Braves last week against the Phillies, and they faced a hot team at the wrong time after just an unbelievably exhausting series against the Mets to win the division, and kind of felt like in ways they were kind of out of gas at that point despite having a pretty big layoff in between series. But that's going to be end over end. It'll be brought out by the Armuchee Indians, and he's going to be brought down at around the 20-yard line. So good kick coverage there by the Darlington Tigers.
Yeah, high end over end kick allows the coverage team to get down and get in position to make the tackle. And Armuchee will start their 4th drive at their own 20-yard line.
That was Colton Phillips with the return. Armuchee Indians are going to line up with 11:40 remaining here in the first quarter, trailing at home 21-0.
And Matt, you just got to wonder if Brave fans are taking this so hard because of the past trauma of being so good for so long but only winning that one World Series, because this team is without a doubt set up to be a playoff and championship contender for the next 5 to 9 years.
And that's the way I try to look at this. I mean, obviously, to be a dynasty and win championship year in, year out, that's a very rare thing. It's also very rare to have a team that goes out and wins 14 division titles in a row, and now they've got 5 in a row in this stint, so I'll take that. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off and run it off to the left side, and he carries the pile, maybe gets 2 or 3 hard yards. That was a hard run. I want to make sure I catch that young man's name. I think it was it Coonley again?
It may have been, Matt. I'm not getting the replay. My tablet's not got great connectivity down here.
It was. He's coming off the field. It was such a hard run, it looks like he may have banged up his ankle a little bit. So he trots off the field, a little gimpy, not a lot.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that taped up. That was an excellent effort to get almost 4 yards.
So that brings up 2nd and 7. Ball on the Armuchee 23. They've got the football working from left to right. As we get ready for DeSanto to take the snap, he drops back, puts it in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. Sails over the outstretched hands of Ryland Steen, who tries to haul it in, can't get his arms around it.
Yeah, and a nice high arcing pass. If he can reel that in, maybe he does some damage, but Joel Lowenberg was honing in. He had switched from missiles and gone to guns. He was coming in to make that tackle. I'm too close for missiles. I'm switching to guns.
Well, you know, one of the things that we'll have to figure out how to do today in this broadcast, I noticed I guess it was Google today, it's Back to the Future Day.
Oh, we can work some of that in.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Shotgun formation here for 3rd and 7 from the Armuchee 23. They have the ball trailing by 21. They're going to hand it off and go to the left side. The Tigers are after him, man. He's going to take a pretty big loss on that play and a hard hit. Flag comes flying in there at the end of the play.
If there's a late hit, that could save the Indians' drive here. We'll see what the call is.
Still waiting on the official's call.
Here comes the white hat. See Bryant Powell clapping, so he's talking with Coach Atha. They may decline whatever this penalty was, if it was a hold or a late block in the back. Either way, it's 4th down. So do you give them another crack at it? They've shown that they can hit some plays downfield, or do you go ahead and force the 4th down in the punt? All right, here's the signal. I was premature there. They've got to figure this out.
They're just making 100% sure that everybody's on the same page here.
Here comes the white hat.
Tell us.
Dead ball, personal foul on Armuchee. So I would imagine that they'll march that off, and it'll be 4th down and a mile, and Armuchee will be punting out of their own end zone.
And as we talked about, you got a rivalry here between two teams. Schools housed in the same county, and of course these kids know each other. It's a physical game, emotional game, and you're certainly going to see some of that, and the officials are going to do a good job trying to throw the flags at the appropriate time to try to keep control of the game.
Well, it didn't get much chippier than it did last week with Darlington and Pepperell. There were no shortage of fouls.
That was a physical game. It really was. It was exciting, and a great win for the Darlington Tigers to stay perfect in region play. So now we're going to see DeSanto in their own end zone, the Indians' end zone, to punt it away. Here comes the kick on the way. That's going to be end over end. Will drop in at about the 36. Will not be returned. Goes out of bounds on the sidelines. And another great opportunity here for the Tigers with excellent field position, Ian.
Yeah, the 4th drive for the Darlington will start at the Armuchee 36. 2nd straight drive that'll start in Armuchee territory.
So the Tigers will run to the line of scrimmage quick, already leading this one 21-0 here on the road at H.A. Lindsay Stadium, Armuchee High School. Friday night lights for you tonight on WLAQ and the Darlington School live stream. October 21st, 2022. Next week is a bye week for the Darlington Tigers, hard-earned. An opportunity to kind of heal some bumps and bruises and get everything refocused and get ready for the final week of the season, which is going to be a home game against Trine coming up on November the 4th. Good takes the snap, turns. He's going to hand it off and running up the middle, picking up some steam there. The Darlington Tigers pick up another big run, about 6 or 7 yards. Was that Bowden green on his number?
That was Bowden Owens.
Yeah.
Sure was. Hard run for 8 yards. Just carrying the pile.
So Owens for 8, and that sets up a 2nd down and 2 at the 10:05 mark here of our second quarter. Now Darlington with the ball at the Armuchee 27-yard line. Going to send a few wide receivers to the near side, one on the far side. Owens is going to remain in the backfield here with Good. Good set to take the snap. He's got the ball in his hands, turns, gives it back to Owens. He runs out to the right side, shakes a tackle, and they bring him down. But he's got the 1st down and then some, and the Tigers are in the red zone.
2 carries by Owens, and we've got ourselves another Parker and Lundy 1st down. And the Tigers are on the move again.
Owens is going to stay on for this package here for the Darlington Tigers. They will send 3 wide to the near side, 1 on the far side. The one split wide right is going to be Braden Bell. Caught a touchdown pass in last week's game against the Pepperell Dragons. And we get ready for the snap here. Good. He puts the ball in the air to Eli Thompson, and he shakes a couple of tackles, and they finally bring him down. A hard effort there for Eli, and he picked up a few yards, about 5 yards on the play. No, make it 6.
And he tried to go to Eli for a touchdown earlier in the game, drew a PI that set up a touchdown run. But that is Eli's first catch of the game. I think we've got a timeout here.
Yeah, the Armuchee Indians will take this one. So we'll take one as well. 8:55 left to go, first half. Darlington up 21-0 with first down and 4 with the ball on the 11. We come back in 30 seconds. And we got any quick scores here before we get ready for second 4 on the 11?
Yes, sir, we do. Calhoun leading Dalton 14-7 in the second quarter. Cartersville 17-0 over Woodland. First quarter, no surprise there. Bad pick by us, looking like early. Tryon up 14-zip at Pepperell in the second quarter. Rome up 21-zip on the road against River Ridge, and North Murray and Model are all knotted up at 7. Another region game of interest. Dade County leads Chattooga 7-0 in the first quarter.
Well, the Tigers are back out on the field with a second down and 4 with the ball on the 11 as Good lines them up with Owens in the backfield, flanked to his right, a little bit behind him. 3 wide receiver set as Good gets ready to take the snap. Ball's in his hand. He'll turn, gives it off to Owens. He is dragging a couple of players with him down closer to the goal line. I think he got to about the 3 before they hauled him in, so a hard run for Bowden Owens.
And another, Parker and Lundy. First down, Matt. This will make it first and goal.
So the Tigers will run back to the line of scrimmage with first and goal, as you pointed out, from the 4. Owens remains in the backfield out here for this package, as well as Lowenberg. Going to have a couple of wide receivers to the right side, one to the near side. Eli Thompson's here on the near side, and the slot on the right side is going to be Talon Shirey. Split wide right as Bell. As Good gets ready to take the snap, ball's in his hands, turns, gives it off to Bowden. Owens carries the pile. Did he get in? I hadn't seen the signal yet. He is going to be short of the goal line by just a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, it's been a heavy, heavy diet of Bowden Owens on this drive. That's his 4th carry.
Got 2 yards there, setting up second down and goal from the 2-yard line. Let's see who they give the rock this time. Going to have a little bit of a personnel change, it looks like, for both teams before we snap the ball here. 7:48 remains in the first half. Now some scores courtesy of Rome Orthopedic Center, and they're going to go to that power set. Good, takes the snap, hands it off. They run it up the middle, and he's able to break through. That's going to be a 2-yard run for a touchdown for the Darlington Tigers. That's Bowden Owens, and he grabs the next touchdown here for the Tigers, Ian.
He sure does. 5-play drive. 4 of those plays were Bowden Owens, or actually it was a 6-play drive, and 5 of those carries were Bowden Owens. He caps it off with a 4-yard touchdown run, his second TD of the game. So now Floyd and Owens both with a pair of touchdowns on the night, and Darlington extends their lead now to 27-0 with the PAT pending.
So Ryland Scott out on the field. Do you think they're having a honeymoon bakery icing on the cake battle out there?
Maybe so. Maybe that's what we need to do. A little icing fight at halftime.
Here comes the kick. It is on the way, and it is automatic. 28-0. That one goes off the scoreboard as well, and the Tigers lead at 28-0 with 7:35 left to go in the second quarter.
And again, we'd like to let all our listeners know that this Darlington scoring celebration is brought to you by La Scala. Book your holiday parties today and celebrate with La Scala Mediterranean Bistro. We appreciate their sponsorship. Man, they've been scoring in bunches, those Tigers. 28-0. We've got 7:35 left in the first half, so they may not be done putting points on the board just yet.
Yeah, the Tigers offense come into the game averaging about 38 points a game, and they are certainly at a pace that will top that as the season goes on, or as this game goes on, I should say, rather. Hope you've had a good week out there in Radio Land and Video Land, everybody. It's always great to get through the week and find yourself at one of these football games on a Friday night under the Friday night lights. And again, just great to be out here at H.A. Lindsay Stadium. We've called a bunch of games over here over the years. And, of course, they've got the natural turf field and great atmosphere for a game. The fans get behind this program. And
one of the games I remember fondly, it didn't go the way we wanted it to for the Indians, but that game against Dade County for the play-in and the playoffs was just a thriller.
Yeah, last time, well, here comes the kickoff here from the Tigers. Kick on the way, and that is going to be sailing into the end zone, and that'll be another touchback.
Owens is getting a foot into it tonight. He was punting in warm-ups and he looked like a college punter out there, just booming, spiraling kicks. Remind me of old Brinson Sumner when he was kicking it around for the Tigers. Is he still at Mercer?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. We'll have to check on that. That's one of the things we should probably try to do, maybe have a halftime segment where we give fans updates on former Tigers that are playing at the next level. That'd be a cool segment.
There are quite a few.
I'll see if we can get some information on that and pass it along from time to time. That'd be fun. Do we have a term for tonight?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about a term just yet, but let me see if I can drum one up.
So Armuchee is going to line up here. Chandler DeSanto has got them lined up in a gun, 3 wide receiver set. They're going to fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run the football, finds the seam, slides at about the 26-yard line, and a good pickup for the Indians on first down.
And that's a senior quarterback for you there. And maybe that's what they're looking for here at this point. We haven't seen DeSanto run the ball too much. That time he saw an opening, he took it, he got down and kept himself out of harm's way with the slide, but a nice pickup of 5 on first down.
So that brings up 2nd down and 5 now with the ball at the Armuchee 25 with 7:05 remaining here in the first half. They're going to send trips to the far side, actually 4 wide receivers in a diamond formation to the far side, one in the near. Empty backfield for DeSanto, puts the ball in the air, and that is going to be batted down by Eli Thompson, but he got his hand on him, so they flag him for the pass interference.
Yeah, and a great play. Eli didn't have to put the hand there. The back judge had a perfect view. He did reach and grab. It was really, I think he could have deflected it without the grab, but he got his hand on him, so that's going to be a free first down for the Armuchee Indians.
So a pass interference call against the Tigers, and that is going to move the chains, as you pointed out, for the Armuchee Indians with 6:53 left to go here in the first half of play. One of the things we'll do at halftime is relay scores to you from other games. Of course, we're going to really have our eye throughout the night on that Pepperell Trine game.
It's a big game.
As obviously the Tigers are going to play Trine at home at Chris Hunter Stadium the final week of the regular season, November the 4th, after a bye week next week, and then get ready for the playoffs. But shotgun snap over his head, dropping back. That was a direct snap, actually, heading towards Jackson Coonley, and it went over his head. They're going to take a big loss after getting a gift on the pass interference.
Yeah, it's been 2 steps forward, 3 steps back for the Indians so far tonight. They get a momentum shifting penalty, and then you have a snap over the Wildcat quarterback's head, and here we are again behind the chains. 2nd and a mile.
I think they lost 15 yards almost on that play, Ian. So 2nd and 25 it will be as they get ready for this play. Wow. Shotgun formation. DeSanto back in there at quarterback. Going to send a couple of wide receivers. One of them got into the package late, didn't he?
Very late.
Here comes the snap. DeSanto turns, hands it off. They try to muscle it up the middle, and there's just nothing there but a wall of Darlington Tigers.
Absolutely not. I know McKay Rush came off the edge, and it was big Gus Gamage, the Gus bus, that slowed that one down.
Somebody must have like a gallon jug of hand sanitizer in front of us because it keeps wafting up here into the field.
Well, I mean, is that better than baby powder? I can't decide.
If I start singing at halftime, it's going to be because of those fumes. Wow.
Just bring out the wambulance. Me and Matt don't like things.
Just making observations. We're describing the action and everything that's going on at the stadium.
Baby powder.
4 wide receiver. I don't do well with smells. I can't help it. Screen pass up the middle and bringing him down. A couple of guys. One of them is going to be Logan Floyd.
Yeah, we hadn't called Logan Floyd's name yet. He's one of those guys that's all over the field and made a great play there, sniffing out the screen. And there we go. Another 3 and out for the Armuchee Indians, and they will punt this thing away.
Indeed, we've got 4:51 remaining here in our first half of play. Darlington Tigers leading at 28-0 as the Armuchee Indians get ready to punt the football back to the red-hot Darlington Tigers offense. They've scored every time they've had the ball, haven't they? Here's the kick. That's going to be spiraling in at about the 4. Takes an Armuchee bounce all the way down to about the 26-yard line before it dies.
And the 5th drive for the Tigers will start at their own 27.
Got big plans for the weekend, Ian?
You know, my Gators are off. Tech already played. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with myself this weekend.
Do a segment every Friday with Lauren Smith, Georgia Bulldog legend.
He's going to have a steak, I heard.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Vern Lundquist this weekend and having steak.
The best jowls in sports television, Vern Lundquist. God, what a treasure that guy is.
He really is. I was trying to, you probably heard this, but I was trying to get an invite there. I'm like, man, call me up. I'll go hang out in the mountains and eat steak with Vern.
When Jemias Griffin got Gatorade Player of the Year, I got to meet Vern Lundquist down at the touchdown club. That was really cool.
4-wide set, trips to the far side, dropping back is good. He is looking to put it in the air, and he connects with Braden Bell on a good play. Stretches out at the end. I believe they got the first down. Extra effort there by Braden Bell. Wow. That was an excellent catch and run there by Braden.
Parker and Lundy first down on that connection from Good to Bell.
So first down for the Tigers. Ball's going to be at the 38-yard line. Tigers still on their side of the field. Going to send a couple of receivers on each side of the formation. Demarion Floyd's in the backfield to the left and behind Good. Man motions. They hand it to him. That's going to be Tommy Bethel running to the near side. Stays up, breaks some tackles, and carries a couple of guys for about 4 or 5 yards. A flag comes in.
And Gatlin Hancock's helmet came off. You got to wonder if there were some hands to the face there. Let's see if I can see it right here.
Was that let's see. Was that Noah Duggan or was it?
It was Tommy Bethel.
Okay, he's got his shirt flipped up, and I was having a hard time seeing if that was a 3 or a 2. I thought it was Bethel, but.
Yep, it must have been hands to the face there. That's what knocked Hancock's helmet off. So that will result in another Parker and Lundy first down and bring the ball into Armuchee territory. They're going to spot it with the nose of the ball at the 41-yard line.
So 3:45 left to go in the first half with Darlington leading at 28-0. Another penalty against the Armuchee Indians. And the Darlington Tigers have it at the 41-yard line over on Armuchee side of the field with a 4-wide set and Demarion Floyd in the backfield with Good. Tigers have been absolutely explosive on offense for the entire season. And this game's another fine example of it. There's the snap. The handoff to Demarion Floyd. Cuts out to the right side. Stutter steps. Runs out to the edge and starts to run down the sidelines. They haul him out of bounds. But another big play for D-Man as he got over 20 yards on that play.
I'm trying to see where they spot this ball, Matt. But another Parker and Lundy first down for the Darlington offense as they just keep racking them up. Started at the 41.
Ends at the 20.
Marked at the 20. So a 21-yard run.
So D-Man Floyd for 21 yards, setting up a 1st and 10. And the Darlington Tigers have it at the red zone with 3:12 remaining here in the first half, leading at 28-0. And this will be a shotgun formation with trips to the near side. Snap is taken by Good. He rolls out to his left, puts it in the air towards the end zone. It's caught and running towards the goal line and in. The Darlington Tigers have scored again, and this time it goes to Tommy Bethel over here on the near side. He is going to score another touchdown here for the Tigers.
All right, Bethel gets into the end zone. He's such a glue guy. It's good to see him get that scoring opportunity. He had a drop last week against Pepperell in the end zone that had to be haunting him. So that time he makes the catch short of the goal line and just would not be denied.
Indeed. So 2:56 remains here in our second quarter of play. 34-0, Darlington Tigers on top. We get ready for Rylan Scott in the extra point attempt where he's been automatic tonight and much of the season. Snap on the way, holds good, kick on the way, and he's feeling it tonight. That one goes off the scoreboard again. He's been punishing that scoreboard, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's getting himself ready. You know, these Darlington Tigers have already secured a playoff spot. We know that. It looks like there's going to be a showdown at Chris Hunter Stadium in 2 weeks between them and the Tri and Bulldogs, two teams that have a great history and have played some really great games against each other to decide the region championship. But they're going to need Rylan Scott in the playoffs, man. There's nothing. Having a dependable kicker is so important, and he's been great from about 40 yards in. He's really been money and has really developed into a great kicker.
So the Armuchee Indians get ready to receive the kickoff here from the Darlington Tigers. Tigers now leading it 35-0 as we've still got 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 56 seconds. There, I'll get it out eventually before we get into the locker room at halftime.
Got some great score updates, some really good games this week around the region, Matt, so we'll have fun going over those at halftime.
Hard to believe that there's only one more regular season game for the Tigers after this before you get into the postseason. And it's almost time to break out the brackets and start writing some stuff in here pretty soon. Here comes the kickoff from Scott. That one's going to go end over end and into the end zone. That'll be another touchback.
Darlington's made a habit of keeping Armuchee inside their own 23 touchbacks. They've returned 2 of them, so they've started at their 20 or worse the whole game. So this will be the 6th drive for Armuchee and the 4th straight that started at their own 20.
Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game coming up after tonight's action. Also the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show with Lynn and Austin Butler father-son team and their cast of characters that call in after tonight's action. And as the season progresses and you get closer and closer to the playoffs, those conversations get a lot more interesting as the season goes on, don't they?
Yes, they do, Matt. And you want to be peaking at the right time, and there are some teams that are playing really good football around the region.
Indians with 1st and 10 from their own 20 after the touchback. There's the snap. Going to hand it off. Running the ball is going to be Coonley, and he is going to be brought down at around the original line of scrimmage. There is a flag that came in.
Gatlin Hancock and Lowenberg were in on the tackle, and I see. I think, number 28, Sam 20. I think he might have gotten a piece of the face mask when he was flying by, reaching out. Is that what the call was?
I didn't
face
catch
mask,
it yet. Their face mask.
Yeah. Yeah, 20 was coming around from the backside, and I think he just reached out and incidentally got a piece of it, but there is no such thing as an incidental face mask. They're all 15 yards at this level. So that will be an easy first down for Armuchee, and this is the 2nd straight drive they've been given a 15-yard penalty. Can they do anything with it this time?
Shotgun formation, going to stack a couple of wide receivers on each side of the formation as DeSanto gets ready to take the snap here on 1st and 10. There's the snap. He's going to turn, pass it on the near side. He's able to connect with his receiver, Phillips, and he is going to be brought down pretty quickly for a short gain.
Positive yards on 1st down. You just want to see if you can get something going if you're the Indians here with just over 2 minutes left in the ball game. You really just don't want to give the ball back to Darlington. They get it to start the second half.
Yeah, Darlington won the toss, as you mentioned, deferred, and will get it with a 35 to lead currently, and there's still time left here in the half. Armuchee with the football, though, left to right. They've got the ball at their own 38. There's the snap. DeSanto turns, looking to fire, puts it in the air, and that is going to be incomplete. Out of the reach of the intended wide receiver, Jacob Seagraves, his favorite target.
And DeSanto, he had time. That time the Tigers dropped into coverage, and the front four did not get immediate pressure, but you can tell that they've gotten in DeSanto's head a little bit because they're coming quick. He let that one go before he had to, but didn't have much downfield, so he took his best option.
Temperature continues to drop here at H.A. Lindsay Stadium in Armuchee. We're down about mid-50s now. We started out close to 60 degrees 3rd down and 8, ball on the 38. Armuchee dropping back, looking to throw. They got company in the backfield. Being chased around is DeSanto. He's going to throw that one away. And he took a hit there, but no flag came in, did it?
Yep, there is a flag.
Yep, there is.
And it's got to be a late hit on the quarterback. I think they got Gatlin Hancock, so Darlington giving some freebies to this Armuchee offense.
And the fans chanting, "You can't do that," here on the Armuchee side of the field. And I got to tell you, man, the fans are showing out tonight. Big crowd on hand here for the Armuchee faithful. And then, of course, Darlington traveled well for this game as well. They're over there bundled up on the far sidelines.
Yeah, and that's what we were hoping for when this regional alignment was announced, is that we would see some great atmospheres, and we have this season. And the Armuchee fans have shown up tonight in droves and are supporting their team. Even though they're down 34-0, they're out there supporting this team, which is playing hard for their coach and their community.
And that's one of the things that Coach Atha pointed out in the pregame today, was just talking about how the fans have really turned out for the games this year. They always do, but the student section really getting into things and all that kind of stuff he's enjoying. There's a little swing pass out to the near side. He connects with Jackson Coonley, and
be a loss.
Yeah, he took about a 1-yard loss there on the play.
And Darlington was playing press coverage on that particular play, but Armuchee was already dialing up a short screen pass, so he didn't get a chance to pump and see if they could get somebody behind the defense. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to take a shot on a timing pattern here if Darlington continues to bring everybody up towards the line of scrimmage.
Sends trips to the far side, one on the near. DeSanto set to take the snap. They get to him quickly, bringing some pressure. Ball on the way, and he catches it. What a grab. Flag comes in. That is going to be Jacob Seagraves for a touchdown on a bomb there from DeSanto.
And he was held. Yeah. And I channeled my inner Tony Romo there. They took the shot.
They did.
The press coverage was there. A great pass by DeSanto. And an even better catch there. And you said that was number 9, right?
Yep.
Jacob Seagraves?
Yep, his favorite target, 48-yard touchdown pass for the Indians. They do get a score here in the first half, trailing now 35-6 with pending PAT. And kicking the ball is going to be Grayson Perry.
Great job there by DeSanto to recognize the coverage, coming back on this. That was the second straight play that Darlington had everybody up close to the line of scrimmage.
And it gets the fans back into it on this side of the field,
absolutely.
for sure. Give them something to cheer for.
Heck of a play. A 5-yard or a 5-play drive that was aided by 2 15-yard penalties, a face mask and a late hit. But Armuchee takes advantage of it, hitting the big play for a touchdown.
Hold's going to be handled by Luke Lively as we get ready for the kick. It is on the way, and it is through. So the score moves to 35-7.
And how many yards was that?
48 yards.
48-yarder. Huh?
Yep. So Armuchee gets a score here late in the first half. But they've got a big hole, trailing 35-7. But you're right, that was a beautiful play.
It really was. Good recognition by the coaching staff and the players on the field there to take the shot that the defense was giving him, and a great catch there by Seagraves to separate himself and then take it to the house.
And as in case you didn't catch the pregame today or didn't catch this in the news, head coach Jeremy Green here at Armuchee, this is his 5th season, announced earlier in the week that he would be stepping down as the head coach at the end of the season. And anybody that's been following along here knows that Jeremy had a bout with cancer that he fought last year and came back. And I know, it's just been one of those things that's kind of taken a toll on him, and balancing being a head football coach and family life and health issues and those sorts of things. I mean, how courageous was it for him to come back and coach this team this season? So I hate to see that. I know it was an emotional decision for him, and these kids love him, and they're out here playing hard tonight, no doubt about it.
And I'm guessing they assessed the penalty yardage on that pass interference, or something happened after the PAT I didn't see, but Armuchee's going to kick it off from the Darlington 45 instead of their 35.
So to kick it away is going to be Grayson Perry. He runs to the ball, and as you mentioned, from the 45, he'll boot that one out of the back of the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
So Darlington will start their 6th drive at their own 20-yard line. And with 1:03 left, Matt, this is an opportunity for a little practice of the 2-minute drill, so I would expect Darlington to come out and fire the ball downfield. But they may be satisfied with a 35-7 lead as well and just run this thing out. Looks like Sammy Konchesky's going to come in. Again, you're bringing on a backup player, even a better opportunity to let him try to navigate a 2-minute offense.
So they're going to send a couple of wide receivers on each side of the formation. As you mentioned, Konchesky in at quarterback now here for the Tigers. There's the snap, a turn, and handoff, and they're going to run it off to the right side. Spinning around is going to be Demarion Floyd. He'll be dropped after a pickup about 7 or 8 yards there on that first down play, so a good hard run from him.
He's had a heck of a night. When he's touched the ball, he's made things happen.
4 wide set, 2 on each side. Dropping back is Konchesky. Good ball thrown out to the right side, and he'll connect with Tommy Bethel, and that'll be a first down for the Darlington Tigers.
Konchesky 1 for 1 so far. About a 5-yard gain there. But moving the chains, and they are going to test this 2-minute offense here.
33-yard line here for the Tigers. 4 wide set again, 2 on each side. Demarion Floyd in the backfield, flank to the left of Konchesky. Dropping back is Sammy, puts it in the air, and I think there was a miscommunication between quarterback Konchesky and the receiver there.
Yeah, he was expecting Timmy Smith to keep running his route. It looked like just a go route, and he stopped and went into his break. That ball was already out. So just a little miscommunication will set up second down.
35.2 seconds left on the clock remaining here in our first half, with Darlington leading on the road 35-7. Going to have 4 wide set, same formation. Konchesky drops back on second and down. Good pocket up, puts the ball in the air. It gets batted down, incomplete. A good defensive play by the Armuchee Indians and Ryland Steen.
With 31.3 left, you'll have a 3rd and 10 here. Konchesky completed his first pass. The next 2, miscommunication with Smith, and that one batted down. Sets up a 3rd down opportunity here.
So again, a 4 wide set. Demarion Floyd remains in the backfield with Konchesky for 3rd and 10 as we get close here to halftime at H.A. Lindsay Stadium at Armuchee High School. Snap to Konchesky. He drops back, puts it in the air. A screen pass out to the right side, finds some green grass, stays up. He's across the 50. A nice reception there by Braden Bell, and a great run after the catch. Gets them across midfield.
Yeah, heck of a gain there, and they're going to go quick.
So the Tigers back at the line of scrimmage with 4 receivers. There's the snap. Konchesky puts the ball in the air a little bit low that time. It'll be incomplete over on the right side, and that'll set up a 2nd and 10. That was over towards Tommy Bethel's way.
Yeah, he was trying to get the quick out and get out of bounds. Didn't work out. But they stopped the clock regardless.
Indeed. Sammy Konchesky, just a sophomore this year, gets some live snaps here in the first half.
A great experience for him. Got Ashton Albers in the game at wide receiver as well.
Konchesky, son of Tony Konchesky, the head football coach out at Barry, who's built an amazing program quickly out there. It's hard to believe it's been around for a decade. There's the snap, a handoff to Demarion Floyd, breaks a couple of tackles, stays up, and turns around at the end of the play for a big gain and another Parker and Lundy first down.
Indeed, and that there could have been a late hit penalty thrown in there too. But they kept the hanky in there. Darlington not calling a timeout.
So he gets it down to the 32 on our Armuchee side of the field, and that is the end of the first half. Your score at halftime, Darlington 35, Armuchee 7. You're listening to Darlington football here on WLAQ, or you may be watching on the Darlington School live stream. However you're with us tonight, we're glad you're with us. We're glad to be here, and we'll be back for our halftime show coming up after these messages on WLAQ and the live stream. Back in 3 minutes.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom and on stage.
The opportunities are endless.
Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
explore opportunities,
and stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers,
we use what we've learned to create beauty, to tell stories,
to inspire. We discover new passions
while allowing existing ones to flourish. We know that we can do anything,
be anything,
achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves. Whether we're sketching,
singing, writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves
and share our talents with the world. We know that our ideas and contributions matter, and we take great pride in that.
Because today,
because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
Entertained by the Armuchee Indians Marching Band, so it's going to be great to enjoy their performance tonight. But the Tigers, Ian, when you look back throughout the scoring summary of the game, they would score on their first 5 possessions of the game and were driving when time ran out at the end of the first half. So they just really had their way in all 3 phases of the game here tonight so far.
Oh, no doubt about it. Scored on every drive. Time just expired and got in their way from scoring on that last drive. You had 2 touchdowns from Demarion Floyd, 2 touchdowns from Bowden Owens, and then a touchdown catch for Tommy Bethel of 20 yards. So just a lights out, impressive half. They gave up 1 big play to Armuchee, a touchdown from DeSanto to Seagraves. And that was really it. Other than a fake punt and some penalties, Darlington defense stood tall, and another outstanding performance here from the Tigers.
No doubt about it. Again, halftime score 35-7. And so with that said, let's go ahead and run down some scores from other area games of interest. You've got some pulled up right
Absolutely.
quick.
I sure do. At halftime, Calhoun is leading Dalton 21-7. Cartersville fans are not happy about that score. They need a Dalton victory. Cartersville only up 17-6 at halftime on Woodland. That's kind of shocking. Woodland's been everybody's whipping boy for the most part, and Cartersville taking it easy on their county rival. They're trying. 21, Pepperell. 0.
Wow, that one surprises me a little bit.
We both picked Pepperell to win that game.
Yeah.
So shocked by that one, and that sets up, if Trine can survive next week, which I believe they will, a showdown for this 7A Division I Region Championship.
Well, it's been one of those things you kind of had to figure it would come down to, Darlington, Pepperell, or Trine, and eyeing that schedule looming in the distance, Trine at the end of the year, you kind of wondered if that might end up being your region championship. The way things are shaking out right now in that matchup between Pepperell and Trine, it may be what we end up seeing happening.
Yeah, absolutely. An identical score to the one we have here for the Rome Wolves on the road against River Ridge. They lead 35-7 at halftime. The Rome Wolves are finding their stride at the right time, and John Reed's pack is looking to make a deep playoff run. Who knows how far they can go.
And one thing worth pointing out about that matchup, the last time those two teams played was in the second round of the playoffs in 2020, and Rome ended up losing that game and bowing out of the playoffs early. So I don't know if there's any revenge involved in that or anything like that, but I'm sure it feels good to have that kind of a lead against the team that knocked you out of the playoffs a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we said it the other day. There are players that are still wearing the red and gold that remember that loss. So I'm sure that they're giving them a little bit of an extra effort. Dade County is up 20-0 over Chattooga in the second quarter. No surprise there. This one's a little surprising. Adairsville only up 7 at halftime, 21-14 over Gordon Lee. The Tigers have been playing great football. They're trying to win a region championship as well. North Murray leads Model 21-14 in the second quarter over in Shannon. That game is huge as far as the region race in their region, and we both picked Model to get that win at home. Close game, long way to go. Cedartown is in the furnace, and they're handling the heat. 28-0. The Bulldogs lead Sonoraville in the second quarter. And then last night, Rockmart, to nobody's surprise, 63-zip over Gordon Central.
Man.
Did we have a difference in our picks this week?
I was thinking about that earlier today. I did not mark one.
Cass. Let me check Cass. For some reason, Cass just doesn't show up in my score stream feed. They should, but they don't. So as soon as I can get a Cass.
I did not pick Cass this week. I picked Hiram.
We both picked Hiram, right?
I don't think we had a difference.
We didn't have a
this
difference.
week.
Okay.
We had 2 in our college picks.
But none in the high school.
But none in the high school picks.
All right.
Yep.
Well, here's that score anyway. Hiram only up 2 points, 14-12 they lead Cass. And Cass has just caught some tough breaks this year. I really think Coach Gates has a heck of a football team. They just have come up on the losing end in some close games.
And they've had an unbelievable murderer's row of a schedule. They've played tough games just about every game this year and played everybody tight.
Yep.
So certainly their record does not reflect the talent they have and the effort they put in. But you're right, they've come up short and close games.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
So is that it for the time being?
That's it for the time being, man, so we can enjoy this performance here. Do want to point out you've got a football player marching with the band. I love that culture of cooperation between the football team and the marching band. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either, but I'm glad you pointed that out because that is really unique and something interesting and definitely important out here at Armuchee School, obviously, with seeing something like that, have well-rounded students with varied interests and things of that nature, and that's such a positive thing for sure. Well, we've got to take a break. We're going to go ahead and step out for about 3.5 minutes here on WLAQ and the live video stream. But again, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight, whether you're listening on the radio or watching on the live stream. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast tonight as much as we are, bringing it to you here live from H.A. Lindsay Stadium. And Darlington Tiger fans, you got a happy story so far. 35-7 is your score in favor of your Darlington Tigers over the Armuchee Indians. Big region matchup tonight. The Darlington Tigers looking to go 9-0 start for the season, and even more important than that, 4-0 in region play. Really setting up a big showdown coming up, not next weekend, but the following weekend over at Chris Hunter Stadium. At the Lakeside, we will be for the final game of the regular season. That's going to be an epic atmosphere.
It is. It is going to be something else. Who knows? We may check that score in a minute, and Pepper might be right back in that ball game. Either way, Darlington's got to take care of business against Trine if they want to win the region. So it's going to be great. We get a whole extra week to build up the tension for that game.
Love it. All right, let's go ahead and take that break. 3.5 minutes down the line, WLAQ and the video stream. Darlington football will be back in just moments.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
Because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
This is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales, I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Home of the Armuchee Indians. Tonight, the Darlington Tigers, your Darlington Tigers, are visiting and having a good time, up 35-7. And we're going to go ahead and look at some other scores. We'll talk about NCAA football going on tonight. Princeton and Harvard. Right now, Princeton is up 21-10 with 11:08 remaining in the third quarter of that one. You've got UAB playing Western Kentucky. Tied at 7, UAB's in the red zone with 12:30 left to go in the second quarter of that football game. Then as far as Tulsa and Temple, that game's close, 10-7, Temple in the lead with 4:44 left to go in the second quarter of that one. In the middle of the fourth, switching to Major League Baseball, San Diego and Philadelphia are all knotted up in Game 3 of the NLCS, and that series is also tied, and the Astros have jumped to a 2-0 lead in the series against the Yankees. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't really care for either one of those teams a whole lot, but I think I'd rather see the Yankees in it this year than the Astros.
I can't. I mean, the Astros have not endeared themselves to anyone with their actions the past few years, but I don't care which team wins out of that one. I've always disliked the Yankees. So it doesn't matter to me. I am rooting for the Padres because I am no Phillies fan. I can promise you that.
I'm not a Phillies fan either. They broke my heart as a kid when I saw Dale Murphy wearing a Phillies uniform, and then broke it again last week, eliminating the Braves in the National League Divisional Series. And, man, what an early exit that was. We talked about that earlier in the broadcast. But, hey, the future is bright. Of course, you got a young team, great pitching staff, everybody healthy next year. We'll try it again.
Yeah, we will, and I think they'll be in the thick of this race for quite some time to come. Still doesn't take away the sting of going out early this year, but hey, they won the World Series last year, so we got to just keep soaking that in, and hopefully they'll get a few more.
Indeed, man. Winning the World Series, 5, of course, division titles in a row, and then this year, winning it again and going back to the playoffs. There's nothing to be sad about, I don't think, if you're a Braves fan. A lot to be happy about. There's a lot of teams that don't end up in that position very often at all, if at all.
Right.
So,
right. Absolutely. Any big college games you're looking forward to tomorrow? We've got some differences in our picks. I know that.
Yeah. You start off at noon and you get Syracuse and Clemson, a couple of undefeateds there in the ACC. That's one of those games at the beginning of the year I didn't realize I'd be getting that excited about, but here it is, and that could be a fun one to start your day. Let's see, what else we got tomorrow? We got not really terribly excited about Duke and Miami. Keep on scrolling past that. Looks like the early games, not a whole lot going on. Of course, I'm a Jacksonville State alum, and they've got Southeast Louisiana playing at of snow tomorrow. Jacksonville 6-1, so I'll have my eye on that. That's my team right there. But let's see. But there are some other big games coming up as the day progresses. Texas, Oklahoma State. That one really excited about.
Yeah.
UCLA, Oregon. That's a 3:30 game. Both those games at 3:30. What else you looking forward to, man?
Shoot, man. It's kind of an odd week because you've got a lot of teams that are on bye week. Florida and Georgia both on bye week this week. Mississippi State, Alabama. I'm interested to see how Alabama bounces back after the loss last week. I expect them to bounce back with a big win, no doubt about it. But Mike Leach has really done a phenomenal job over in Starkville, making noise with his Bulldogs team. Minnesota and Penn State is one to look out for. Quietly, Shane Beamer has South Carolina at 4-2 with Texas A&M coming to town. Can Jimbo Fisher survive a trip to Columbia, South Carolina? Kansas State TCU is a big one in the Big 12. Yeah, so there's something to watch all day, no doubt about it. I'll have my eyes on that Clemson-Syracuse game early. If Clemson survives that one, they're coasting to yet another ACC Atlantic Division title.
Indeed, man. Want to take this opportunity again, Ian, to thank our radio sponsors, Atrium Health, Honeymoon Bakery, icing on the cake, player of the game at the end of the night, Riverside Auto Group, Avery Drugs, GNTC, Harbin Clinic, Parker and Lundy, Rome Orthopedic Center, Ware Mechanical, and also La Scala with the Darlington touchdown celebration, because without them, we would not be here and able to call the football games, which we love to do each and every week, and have the opportunity to talk about these kids and how much they put into this, and just, it's so much fun to get to be here on Friday nights and be a part of it. We couldn't do it without the sponsors.
We sure couldn't. So a big thank you to them. Feeding all those offensive linemen a few weeks ago. That was there's something to that.
They went down quick, is what I was told.
Yeah. Coach Atha said that they were gone in no time. Would you like me to run over? I caught some stats offensively, but we could go over a little scoring summary if you'd like.
Yeah. One thing I do want to point out before we do that, I want to acknowledge the video crew. Ian, press box cameras tonight, Benton Potts and Thomas Patterson, best buddies there, doing a fantastic job. Also involved with graphics tonight, Noah Travis. Replay, Nathan Patterson. He's also the guru that brings you the video courtesy of Darlington School. Of course, his company's called Northwest Georgia Media. And then director tonight is Mike Garrett. And then also saw Nathan's wife, Uta, here tonight, offering her support in different capacities. So they just do a phenomenal job with that, and it's just next level stuff. Every time anybody ever brings it up to me, they say, man, this rivals ESPN when I see the video and how far they've taken it. So it's awesome to watch what they do.
Yeah, everywhere I go, I run into Darlington fans and fans of other teams around the region who get to catch the live stream, and they talk about what a great job that crew does, and we're just thankful to be plugged in and be a part of it. So it's a lot of joy for you and I to bring it to the radio listeners and to those watching on the stream.
No doubt. Now, what do you got?
Well, Darlington got off to a fast start. They had 6 drives in the first half, scored on 5 of them. The first one was a one-play, 53-yard touchdown run by Demarion Floyd. It looked like a pass, but it was behind the line of scrimmage. So 53-yard run by Demarion Floyd. On the second play, or the second drive, it was a 8-play, 90-yard drive, and it was capped off with a 12-yard touchdown run by Demarion Floyd. The third drive was another one-play drive set up by a Joel Lowenberg interception, almost a pick six. On the very next play, Bowden Owens took it in from 5 yards out. They set up their next drive at the Armuchee 35. That was a 6-play drive that was capped off with a 4-yard touchdown, again by Bowden Owens. And then on the 5th drive, they went 4 plays and went 73 yards, and they capped that one off with a 20-yard touchdown pass from Jack Good to Tommy Bethel. So, and then the 6th drive was the clock expired before they could score. I didn't get all the stats, Matt. I was trying to keep up with everything. I know Jack Good, it looks like his night's over, finished 5 for 6 for 70 yards and a touchdown. Demarion Floyd, 7 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's certainly, I would imagine, our front runner tonight here for the player of the game. Maybe not.
Bowdenowens was a little tougher to keep up with. He had more carries. He also had 2 touchdowns, and then he had a 23-yard reception on a screen pass that went for a first down. He has 2 touchdowns as well. So he's got to be in the conversation. But, yeah, those guys are feeling their cupcakes. Jack Cowan had 1 sack and 1 quarterback hurry on defense.
Man, some great play tonight. Yeah. Another wonderful team effort for a half there for the Darlington Tigers, and we still have another half to go here at H.A. Lindsay Stadium. We're super glad to have you with us tonight as we watch time expire here from our halftime period. We're going to get ready for the mandatory warm-up period that you have at the end of the half. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and take a 2.5-minute break, and we'll get you set for the second half. Darlington Tigers on top at halftime, 35-7 over the Armuchee Indians, and we'll be back for the second half after a quick 2.5-minute break.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our 2 founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
They are super knowledgeable about the market in Rome, whether it's home buying, rental homes. They have their finger on the pulse of what's going on.
We both sold a house and bought a house, and the transition from both went really smoothly for us.
I feel like they've become almost a part of our family, so we're just really appreciative of Hardy and what they've done for us.
All their team put together, from maintenance to management to sales. I can't really say enough about them. I'd highly recommend them to anybody coming to town or living in Rome looking for investment properties or homes to buy.
I'd like to wish the Darlington football team a great season. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
All right, just in time. Welcome back into H.A. Lindsay Stadium, Naaman Wiseman Field. Matt Davis and Ian Griffin with you tonight with commentary of tonight's game on the WLAQ broadcast as well as the Darlington School live stream. Darlington leads it, Ian, 35-7. We're getting ready to start the second half.
Yes, sir. Darlington will receive. They deferred after winning the toss.
Going to send a couple of men back here. The Tigers are going to have Demarion Floyd standing over near the near hash about the 5-yard line. On the far side is going to be none other than Talon Shirey. Both of those guys could break a big one at a moment's notice.
Absolutely. Shirey had a punt return for a touchdown. That was aided by a block in the back. but he made some guys miss. Would have been an 80-yard return had it stood. And he's shown his ability to make these plays on a consistent basis.
So we get ready for Grayson Perry to run to the ball and boot it away to start the second half. Tigers are going to be working from right to left, and that's going to be an onside kick attempt, and it's going to be fielded by the Tigers at midfield. So
I love the roll of the dice there by the Armuchee Indians. Got nothing to lose here. You're trailing by 28. They had a chance at that one, honestly. I mean, it felt like the ball hung there for just a minute. They went up the middle with it. Armuchee coverage guys just kind of overran it a little bit, and McKay Rush, I believe, was able to. Yep, it was McKay Rush that covered that ball up, and that sets Darlington up at their own 49 on the first drive of the second half.
And you're right. You got nothing to lose. You're Armuchee down 35-7. Darlington deferred. Got the ball to start the second half. Try to steal a possession. See if you can get a spark to start the second half. Unfortunately for the Indians' sake, it didn't work out for them. Tigers have got great field positions. You mentioned they start at their own 49. Here's first down as Good takes the snap. Man's motions to the near side. That was Shire. They hand it up the middle. That is Demarion Floyd. He was a step away from taking it to the house and got tripped up by his shoestring. So I want to make sure we give credit to that young man because Demarion was about to be running towards the end zone.
Yes, he was. Had a heck of a first half. Thought the starters may be done, but they are going to keep it up here.
So Demarion Floyd does gash him enough for the first down and gets the ball down to the 40-yard line. Tigers on the move. Tommy Bethel runs off to the sidelines. Looks like Demarion Floyd is going to line up in the slot for this play. Split wide to the left side is Eli Thompson. 2 wide receivers on the far side. As Jack Good gets ready to take the snap, Sammy Konchesky played the late minutes of the second quarter. There's the snap. Good turns, hands it off. They're going to run it up the middle of the field. Joel Owenberg carries the pile 10 yards, and that ought to be another first down.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. It was all right. That was that kind of run, man. I like how Lowenberg gets behind his pads and runs downhill. Would not be denied.
So a couple of first downs already for the Tigers on the opening drive.
2 Parker and Lundy first downs to start this one. Started at the 49, and now they're down at the Armuchee 30.
Tigers line up with 4 wide receivers. Demarion Floyd's lined up in the slot on the near side. He motions to the right. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off, run it up with Logan Floyd up the middle. He carries the pile, and he's going to get about 8 or 9 yards. He's still trying to move the pile.
Finally blow it dead. Looks like it's going to be an 8-yard gain for Floyd on the dive play. I tell you what, we've got all these playmakers making all these flashy plays, wowing us out there with the ball in their hands, but it doesn't go anywhere without the big nasties up front, and they've had another outstanding game.
You're not kidding, man. Talking about Gus Gamage and Bryant Power, Jack Chandler, Gatlin Hancock, Truett Hayworth.
I wouldn't want to line up on the other side and hit those guys for 4 quarters.
That's an intimidating sight when you're standing on the opposite side of that. There's no doubt about it. Those are some beefy boys. Pistol formation, Good turns, hands it off to Demarion Floyd, and they're able to pull him down with the effort of about 3 Indians there. And he got the first down, though, so that'll move the chains again.
Another Parker and Lundy first down. Demarion Floyd with another carry, adding to his already impressive totals on the night.
So the drive started at the Darlington 49-yard line. Now they've got the ball down at the 18-yard line of Armuchee's side of the field after picking up 3 first downs on some good running here for the Tigers. Clock moving here in this first quarter. And the temperature is dropping
you
as
can
well.
Feel it.
Man, it feels so good, though. 50 degrees, and I know you like cold weather, too.
I do.
Man motions from right to left. They're going to hand it to the motion man. That's Talon Shirey trying to get him to the edge. He dives forward and gets out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. So a good pickup there on first down. There for the Tigers, setting up a 2nd and 6 after a pickup of 4 from Shirey.
Just a little jet sweep type play.
So the Tigers on the move now with 2nd and 6 from the 14-yard line in the red zone. 4 wide receivers set, 2 on each side. Logan Floyd's in the backfield here with Jack Good. Good getting set to take the snap with 8:50 left to go in the quarter. A handoff to Logan Floyd, muscles through. The pile stays up, drags about 4 or 5 Indians down to around the 10-yard line. That's going to make Coach happy.
Yeah,
Another hard round.
absolutely. I will set up a 3rd down and short, as Darlington has just decided they're going to play some smash mouth football here to start the second half. All running plays so far this drive started back at the Darlington 49 after Armuchee opted to attempt an onside kick to start the half. They did not recover, and the Tigers are threatening.
Good will take the snap here from the gun with Demarion Floyd in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. Finds a little bit of a crease. Gap is closed right there at the end. He squeaks through and grabs a few yards, so that's going to set up a 1st down here for the Tigers, so they do move the chains.
Another Parker and Lundy 1st down. Demarion Floyd picks up 5. It didn't look like it was 5, but it was 5 yards. One cut, and he fell forward.
So the Tigers are going to have 1st and goal from the 6 after the pickup there from Demarion Floyd. Going to send a couple of wide to the near side, one on the far side. Back in the backfield here with Good is going to be Demarion Floyd. As Good gets ready to take the snap, he'll turn, hands it off to Floyd. He gets wrapped up immediately. That's a good stop for the defense of Armuchee.
Absolutely. They got him for a loss that time.
Jackson Hightower.
Loss of 2.
With the stop there for Armuchee, Jackson Hightower. 7:18 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Demarion Floyd checks out. Bowden Owens is back in.
Who gets the 3rd touchdown? That's what those guys are wondering.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Eli Thompson's the one lined up on the near side. Shirey and Bell on the right side. There's the snap. Rolling right is going to be Jack Good. He's got company, and he is going to be dropped at about the 10-yard line. Good pursuit by the defense. I believe that was 44, Ryland Steen with the sack.
Yeah, Good evaded one guy. Looked like he was trying to keep his eyes downfield, but couldn't find an open receiver, and that's one of those tackles from behind. You're always just hoping they're going to be all right. A hard hit, but Good popped right back up, and it'll be 3rd and goal for the Tigers.
Tommy Bethel checks back out on the field for Logan Floyd with 6:20 and the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter, with Tigers leading at 35-7 with 3rd down and goal coming up from the 10. This will bring up the gun. Owens flank to the left of Good. 4 wide receiver set. 3 of them are on the near side of the formation.
Watch the slant to Bell.
Good drops back into the pocket, and he is going to have to bail out, runs the football out to the right, and he is heading towards the goal line, is brought out of bounds at about the 5 or maybe 4-yard line. He might be inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, great defense here by Armuchee. They bent on this drive, but they did not break, and it'll be 4th down, and we'll see if Darlington decides to roll the dice and go for it here, or they're going to send out the field goal unit.
All right, so they're going to attempt a field goal. Is this 20 yards? I'm trying to see where he's got it lined up over here. Is that at the 10?
It is at the 15. Well, no.
No. Here is the snap. The kick is on the way, and that was going to be through the uprights, and Good. Score moves to 38-7.
A 22-yard field goal there, I believe, Matt, if we're going well, no, the ball was marked a little further back. Let's see if I can see it on the stream.
Yep. A little bit blurry. It's kind of hard to pick up where we are. I thought it was at the 10.
That's the 10.
No.
There's the 20. 32-yard field goal.
Well, there's the 20 right there.
Oh,
he was a little bit in front of that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I
think it was a 27-yard field goal. That's
okay.
That's my unofficial official.
Well, I'll defer to you on that one.
Well, Darlington ran off almost 7 minutes of game clock there, tacked on 3 points, and they've hit their average of 38 points a game. I know it's 38 and some change, so maybe I'm shorting them just a little bit.
So we got 5:15 left to go in here in the 3rd quarter. Ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Again, big crowd on hand here tonight at Armuchee High School. They've got 2 more games left as they've already had their bye week. So the Indians, I'll go ahead and mention to you what they've got left on the schedule. They're going to play Tryon next week up there at Sam R. McCain, and then they're going to close up the following week with another tough team, Dade County. So they got some tough games down the stretch.
Yeah, they do. They kind of there was a backloaded schedule for the Indians.
That's end over end. Will be brought out here by the Armuchee Indians. Boy, big hard hit there from the Tigers.
Is that Jack Cowan or Bowden-Owens?
Yeah, it was Bowden-Owens.
They have a similar build, and it's 24 and 34, so it's easy to mistake those guys. But Bowden-Owens with a heck of a tackle on the special teams unit there. Tryon still up 21-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
Woodland 17-6 at half. Cartersville leads Woodland. 21-21 at Daresville and Gordon Lee. Rome up 42-7. Let's see.
And Ridgeland's having a pretty good, or not Ridgeland, River Ridge is having a pretty good season. I think they won 5 games.
I'm telling you, Rome's kicked it into another gear. They have. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the playoffs.
DeSanto getting ready to take the snap. He'll pull it down and hand it off. They're going to run one of the big boys this time, number 44, Ryland Steen. And he is able to pick up about 2 or 3 yards on that first down play. A pretty hard run from him.
He tried to bounce it out to the right. Was able to get positive yardage, but not much.
Not a lot, you're right.
There hasn't been much. It's been tough sledding against this front for the Tigers.
We talk about how explosive the offense has been from Darlington, but their defense has been outstanding tonight and all season long for that matter.
You had a fake punt for 25 yards. You had penalties that have aided a few Armuchee drives, and you had the one big play that they were able to spring in the pass game. Other than that, it's been all Darlington.
DeSanto from the gun with 3 wide. Man goes in motion from left to right. They're going to hand it off and go up the middle. And that's going to be a pickup of about 3 yards there for the Indians. And I believe that was Steen on the. That was Steen again, wasn't it? Yep.
Steen has been getting the rock. They're just trying to play a little smash mouth football right back at the Tigers, and got themselves some third and manageable here.
.352 is remaining here in the third quarter, with Darlington leading at 38-7. Having a big night here tonight out in Armuchee. DeSanto getting ready to take the snap with a couple of wide off to his left side. He's looking that way, puts the ball in the air. That was nearly picked, and that would have been
Jack Cowan. Jack Cowan jumped that one, and had he reeled it in, he could have done the moonwalk into the end zone. I mean, that's a pretty tough dance. I don't know if I could do that with a football in my hands, but he could have. He could have taken his time.
I dance no more. My dancing shoes are hung up for good.
You had some glitter shoes at one point, Matt. Don't short yourself there, buddy.
My days of dressing up like a fishing lure and shaking my moneymaker are done.
Well.
And everybody's happy about that fact that have observed it. Here comes the punt here from DeSanto. It will be fielded around the 50 or 48-yard line. Talon Showery's going to bring it out, stays up, takes a punishing hit over on the near side. Flags are coming in, 2 or 3 of them. Little chippiness here over on the sidelines.
Yep, it was a late hit. No question about it. I mean, Showery, he's not afraid of contact. He lowered his shoulder on the sideline while he was still within the boundary, which is perfectly legal, but he got that contact, and then Armuchee piled on late and on their own sideline, and they gave the officials no choice but to throw the flag.
So the official will mark off the penalty yardage after a little bit of a conference here that's taking place over about the 30-yard line. Looks like they got it sorted out quickly.
Yeah, you just want to cool everybody down. This game is in hand at this point. And it is a late hit out of bounds on Armuchee, so they'll march off an additional 15 yards.
And as we talked about, when you have rivalry games like this, you do have some things like that occur throughout the game. I think in this game and in the game last week against Pepperell, the officials did a great job of keeping control of the game.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't
no,
anything egregious, but it was a hit out of bounds for sure. It wasn't endangering the player.
There's the snap. Kincheski in at quarterback. Oh, what a good stop there by the Armuchee defense as they are able to drop the ball carrier, Timmy Smith, right away.
Steen wants to get his name called. He's making some plays here.
So that's a loss of about 4 yards there on first down there for the Tigers, bringing up a 2nd and 14 with the ball at the Armuchee 30-yard line now. We're under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 4 wide set. Konchesky in at quarterback, getting set to take the snap. He has got the ball in his hands, turns, gives it off to Duggan, and he is going to be brought down after a short pickup, getting back some of those yards lost on the previous play.
That'll set up a 3rd and long for the Tigers. Passing situation here. You got some fresh unis out there. See Gray Fricks, Jack Cowan, who's been playing a lot on defense, is getting some reps on offense. And then you've got Jake Trebus out there as well, number 8. Timmy Smith in, and Noah Duggan as well.
Right now, Timmy's lined up here in the slot on the near side. We get ready for the snap here to Konchesky. He'll drop back, puts the ball in the air, is able to connect with his wide receiver, Gray Fricks. He's got some green grass, and he is gone. Gray Fricks with a touchdown, 28 yards.
His first touchdown.
As a Darlington Tiger.
How about that? That's always great to see. So Gray Fricks catches the screen pass, gets a touchdown. That young man is a senior, so that's something else right there, man, to see that happen. I know his parents are proud.
So again, Gray Fricks makes the grab there. 28 yards to pay dirt here for the Tigers, and now they lead this thing 44-7 with 2:06 left to go here in our third quarter of play. Ryland Scott on for the point after. He's been perfect on extra points, and he's also made a field goal tonight. Kick on the way, and that one is right through. He's really feeling it tonight, isn't he?
He is. He's booming the ball. Absolutely. Man, it's special. You see a guy like Gray Fricks. I know his parents pretty well. He's put a lot of time and effort into this program. He gets to see the field a little bit, but he helps this team get better on the practice field. So to see him come out and get that touchdown, that's a special moment for him. Special moment for Sammy Konchesky as well. Heck of a play there for that young man, throwing the touchdown pass, setting that up.
And, you know, when you get at this point of the season, especially to get a game where you get live snaps for some of these young guys, getting experience as you get ready for that third phase of the season, the playoffs here in a few weeks, you just can't even put a value on how much that means to get those guys reps and have them ready when their name's called, because eventually it happens. So
it sure does, Matt, and it's just, like I said, it's a special moment, and I think Coach Atha, every coach is going to try to get their reserves in the right time, but he does a great job of getting these kids plays, even in meaningful moments. We've seen these kids out there when it matters, but now that the game's in hand for them to go out and get a chance to score, that's really, really awesome stuff.
Couldn't agree with you more. Ball is teed up at the 40-yard line as we get ready for Ryland Scott to put the boot on it again. Tigers up now 45-7. 2:06 remaining in the third quarter. Ryland trots towards the ball, kicks it. That's going to be a long kick. That'll drop in at about the 5-yard line. Will be brought out and returned. Run up the middle of the field are going to be the Armuchee Indians, and number 22, that's Colton Phillips on the return, and he will give his team pretty decent field position after a nice return.
Yeah, absolutely. So Armuchee's going to come out and see if they can muster up some positivity here in the second half. We've seen some good things from their offense. They've been outmatched in the trenches tonight. That's really where Darlington wears you down and has dominated just about everybody they've played this season.
So we're under 2 minutes to play. 1st and 10 here for the Armuchee Indians with the ball at their own 29-yard line after, again, a good return there by Colton Phillips of the Indians.
It'll be the starters still out on the field for Armuchee. We're going to see some fresh faces on defense for the Tigers.
So DeSanto getting ready to take the snap, but too wide to the near side. They're going to turn, hand the football off up the middle, and not in a running lane there for him. Pushing and shoving going on. There comes several flags. Tempers flaring a little bit there. It's going to be another personal foul going against Armuchee Indians. Wow, look at all the flags on the field.
I mean, I looked left and looked back, and I was afraid I was going to get hit by a flag.
Golly. Those came flying very quickly. We pointed out, the officials doing a good job tonight, reeling things back in when they need to.
Yeah, I think every one of them threw their hanky. Oh, man.
Those T-shirt guns or whatever they have?
Yep.
The officials, that'd be another adventure if they had one of those for them. They could just shoot the flags out.
Right.
No, that's a ridiculous idea. I'm sorry I said that.
They could save that for, the XFL or whatever, one of these spin-off leagues. Somebody's bringing that back again, right? I think, for like the 5th time.
I don't know. I kind of like the one that what was the league?
USFL?
No, the one that Spurrier was coaching.
Yeah, I hated that one went defunct.
I already forgot the name of it, but I liked it. 2 wide to the near side. DeSanto turns, fires, is able to connect with the receiver, and he is going to be brought down by a host of Darlington Tigers. I believe Duggan was in on that. Timmy Smith was there.
Yeah, just trying to get the ball out to their playmakers in space, but the pursuit from the Darlington defense was excellent.
Sam Twente was a part of that as well, swarming to the ball. 1:05 left to go in the third quarter. And this brings up a 3rd down and 6. Now with Armuchee with the ball on their own 15. Under a minute to play. There's a snap to DeSanto. He'll drop back, puts the ball in the air, a little bit wobbly. That's going to be incomplete, short of the receiver who was streaking down the field.
Yeah, he was trying to find Seagraves, his favorite target on the deep ball. They had a beautiful connection earlier in the game, but that one came off of his hand a little bit funny and fluttered in the air and fell harmlessly to the turf, forcing yet another punt for the Indians.
Indeed, and right now you're going to have DeSanto, who's their quarterback, who also is their punter, standing with his heels right on the goal line as he gets ready to take this snap. And we did see him fake it earlier and throw a pass for a 1st down, but certainly wouldn't think they would try that again.
I doubt that. Seriously. On 4th and 26 especially.
45-7, Darlington leading this one on the road as we get close to the end of the third quarter of the football game. Still a lot of enthusiasm, though, here from the student section of Armuchee. They're having a good time tonight. Cheerleaders are throwing something into the crowd. I'm not sure what it is. There's the snap. Here is the kick. That one's going to sail high into the air and drop in. Takes a nice Armuchee bounce and roll all the way down to the 41-yard line. That turned out really nicely for Armuchee.
Sure did. And Darlington will take over there. We'll see who trots out at quarterback. Will Konchesky get another drive, or will they bring in Hendricks Jones? Might we see Henry Ledbetter at some point in this game? I think everybody's going to get a chance to play going the rest of the way.
I think you're right. Darlington Tigers start at their own 41 with 36.8 left to go here in our third quarter. So we still got one more quarter to go here tonight at H.A. Lindsay Stadium. And Sammy Konchesky trots back out on the field at the quarterback position here for the Tigers. It looks like he's going to have Noah Duggan out there in the backfield with him, flanked to his left when we get ready for the snap. 4 wide set, 2 on each side of the formation. Again, the Tigers start at their own 41. There's the snap, turn, and handoff. Duggan's got it. He stays up and is going to be dropped. I believe that'll be no gain there on the play. Ball came out, but that was after it was whistled dead. And brings up 2nd and 10. And I think that's the last play we've seen here of the third quarter, and it is. So at the end of 3 quarters of play, your Darlington Tigers having fun tonight. Up 45-7 on the road here at Armuchee High School. We're going to go ahead and step out for 1 minute. We'll come back for the final frame after these messages. 1 minute.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Darlington Football would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's live stream. Business Water Solutions, Coosa Steel, Hardy Realty, Riverside Auto Group, and Atrium Health Floyd. Thank you for your support.
Cool fall night for high school football, 51 degrees right now with the temperature dropping, and I love it, man. This is perfect weather for a football game, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's crisp. A little bit of chill.
And we're getting a little Sweet Caroline performed by the Armuchee Marching Band over here on their side of the field. And now the Tigers line up for 2nd down and 5 with the ball on the 45-yard line, and streaking down the field is Timmy Smith for a first down. He's got it on Murchie's side of the field now, about the 47, after a good pickup and a Parker and Lundy first down.
Yes, indeed. Timmy Smith has gotten some good carries, and now here we go. Henry Ledbetter into the game at quarterback. Sammy Conchesi looked good in his action there, throwing a touchdown pass to Gray Fricks on the last drive, and now Ledbetter will get to come out and get a little experience here.
Indeed, 4-wide set for Ledbetter. He takes the snap, turns, hands it off, runs it up the middle. That's going to be Timmy again, and he is going to be dropped, maybe a pickup of 1 or 2 yards on the play. So a hard run for Smith, but a short gain. And the clock rolling here in our fourth quarter with Darlington leading at 45-7. It looks like Coach Green's going to trot out onto the field. We got a player down here for the Armuchee Indians, kind of grabbing at his left knee. That is number 40, Blake Mathis, being looked at by Coach Green and the trainer.
Never like to see that. This game has been pretty much injury-free. Not a lot of stoppages, so let's hope this young man is okay.
Just give you a little bit of a preview of what we've got on WLAQ this weekend. Of course, we already mentioned to you, no Georgia Tech football this Saturday because the Jackets hosted and were beaten by the Virginia Cavaliers last night. Final score 16-9 after picking up a couple of wins in a row under interim head coach Brent Key. Jackets' next game is going to be down at Doak Campbell Stadium, taking on the Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee. That'll be Saturday, October 29th, and a noon kickoff has already been announced for that one.
I don't expect that one to go well.
Me either.
I mean, Florida State is not a world beater. They're better than they have been the last few years, though. And if Jeff Sims is not playing in that game, that one's going to be a bloodbath.
So no Braves, no Tech. That means it's going to be CBS Island football pretty much all weekend on WLAQ. Shotgun formation for Ledbetter. He'll pull it down, hand it off. Looks like is that Timmy again. Yep, Timmy Smith again on the run. Another short pickup brings up 3rd down. About 7 here for the Darlington Tigers. Let's see what they dial up here on 3rd down. Timmy runs off the field. Out now is Miles Twyman, who had some good runs in the game against Coosa, wasn't it?
He sure did. Yeah. Miles had a pass breakup and several good runs in that game against Coosa.
3-wide set this time. Miles Twyman in the backfield here with Ledbetter. So he gets ready to take the snap on 3rd and 7. Ball's in his hands. He'll turn, hands it off to Twyman. Good stutter step there, and he picks up maybe a couple yards there on that 3rd down play, setting up a 4th, and still long here though for the Tigers.
They may go for it here. I mean, you got your guys out there getting experience. Let's see if we can extend the drive. Oh, he's going to punt it away. Can't blame him there either.
No. Either way, you could see the logic behind either choice. So we've got 8:52 and the clock rolling here in the fourth quarter with Darlington up 45-7. They've been in control of this game pretty much from the beginning of the game.
Yes, indeed. First play of the game went 53 yards for a touchdown, and they haven't looked back. First punt of the game, right?
Yes, it is, and that's Tommy Bethel punting it away here for the Tigers. That's going to drop back and rolls all the way. Did that go? The nose of the ball was near the goal line. Did it go in?
No, it did not.
It stayed out.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's inches from the goal line, folks. What a punt.
Yeah, he didn't cough and corner it. He just put on that proper English. He hit a nice little Tiger Woods wedge in there and stopped it right short of the hole. Heck of a punt there by Tommy Bethel, the jack of all trades.
No doubt, and you're right, Ian. The only other time that Darlington had the ball and didn't score was because time ran out as they had the ball driving there at the end of the first half. So Armuchee will get the ball, but at their own 1 yard line, trying to break themselves out of jail to start this drive.
And we have moved to a running clock.
Indeed, we have 7:38 and the clock rolling. And Armuchee's kind of had one of those games where things like this have happened to them. I mean,
yeah, it hasn't bounced their way either, and it seems like every time they've gotten a break, they've had a bad one follow it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So DeSanto takes the snap. Actually, that's not DeSanto in at quarterback any longer. That's Luke Lively, sophomore.
Little wildcat down there, looks like. Or is he the backup quarterback?
I think he must be the backup quarterback because he's staying on the field.
All right.
So he picks up some good yards there. That brings up 2nd down and 2 after a pickup for the Indians. Under 7 minutes to play here in this football game. So again, Luke Lively in at quarterback for DeSanto. As we get ready for the snap here on 2nd and 2 with the ball at the Armuchee 9. Armuchee with the ball. They hand it off. There's Steen, muscles through. And, I mean, what a hard run from him. Hit a defender really hard. At the end of the play, that's going to be a first down for Armuchee.
It is. They're looking to draw a little contact here late. The 2s are on the field for Darlington, and Armuchee's looking to impose their will here as the clock continues to roll.
Indeed.
The boys in the studio are going to have a busy night with scores, man. There are some good games going on right now. I'm going to leave it for them. But they're going to have a lot to talk about. I'll just leave it at that.
Shotgun formation. There's the pass from Lively out to the near side. Is able to connect with a wide receiver, Seth Hughes. They string him out on defense and run him out of bounds, but he does pick up about 2 yards.
Yeah, good pursuit there by Timmy Smith. I got to call this one out, though, Matt. Tryon is winning 35-0.
Whoa. I never would have expected that. I thought that was going to be a slobber knocker of a football game.
I think they listened to the show, and they were like, we're going to show Matt and Ian. Pick against us.
Yeah. So that sets it up, folks. Big game coming up at the end of the year. There's a handoff. Armuchee's going to carry the pile about 2 yards, setting up a 3rd and short here. He got more yards out of that than I thought he was going to initially. He got about 5. Is that number 4? I'm not sure who the ball carrier was there. Apologize for that.
Or is it 14?
It says 14. We don't have a 14
Yeah, we
on
do
our
not
roster.
have a 14 on our roster, unfortunately.
So we apologize for that. One of the things we do make an effort to do is try to call as many names as we possibly can, but every now and then you wind up with one that makes it out there that's not.
I don't have a
listed.
32 for Darlington. We've got a 32 out there.
That would be Jace Donaldson.
Okay. See, I can count on Matt. Matt's got it.
I must need to give you an updated roster.
It's your fault.
Hey, look, I'll take the blame. Blame Matt Davis. 3rd down and 3. There's the snap. Handoff from Lively is going to give it to, and I hate doing this. I really do. I never want to say number 14. We don't have his name, so I apologize for that. But that'll be a first down. He picks up a good carry there.
Yeah, absolutely. Armuchee's picked up a couple of good first downs. And I tell you what, man, I'll slip down and ask our PA announcer so we can give this kid his credit.
If you don't mind. Thank you. So Armuchee will line up now with 1st and 10 after the pickup. We're just under 4 minutes to play. Darlington leading at 45-7. Lively in at There's the snap, going to throw a bomb down the field. That's going to be way over everybody's head. Flag came in on that play. Certainly was not going to be a catchable pass in my mind under any circumstances. Flag came in, so that's going to be pass interference.
Young man's name, number 14, is Easton Jackson for Armuchee. So he's had a couple of really good plays, and I want to give him the credit.
Thank you very much. As the official marks off the penalty yardage, marches it off, I should say. And that'll be a first down here for the Indians. They get it out to the 46-yard line.
Nice drive here from Armuchee.
So the pass interference call brings them out to the 46-yard line. They're going to line up in a pistol formation here for this set. Dropping back is their quarterback, Luke Lively. Puts the ball in the air. Nice spiral. That's going to be out of bounds. Incomplete.
Threw it out of bounds, but Lively's got a lively arm. That one came out. He was spinning it.
So the ball remains at the 46-yard line with less than 2:40 to play now. Second and 10 rather. Armuchee Indians going to make a little personnel change as Lively gets ready to take the snap here from the pistol. Going to send a couple of wide outs to the right side. Lively takes the snap. He is going to fake the handoff. Is going to tuck the football and run. Picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, good athlete.
Just a sophomore. So perhaps the future quarterback moving into next year for the Armuchee Indians.
I was talking to the PA announcer. They'll have 22 seniors on this team next year.
Really?
So
wow.
Armuchee, what Coach Green has built here, hopefully somebody will be able to pick that up and continue the improvement that we've seen out of this team. A 5-win team last season after years and years of really struggling to get those W's.
You hate to see him stepping down, but like you say, hopefully the foundation is built for the next coach, and you always want to try to leave a program better than you found it, and I think that's mission accomplished for Coach Green. There's a snap, a handoff. They're going to go to the right side. That's Easton Jackson with another decent pickup there. He's still trying
fighting.
To push the pile.
They blew it dead.
They blew it dead before he got the first down, but I love the spirit there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost under a minute here. Armuchee's going to have to move quickly if they want to get a score. This drive started at their 1-yard line. They've moved it all the way across the 50.
So this is going to be 4th and 2 with the ball at the 47 as Armuchee takes the snap. Lively's going to run it out to the right side. He's got the first down and then some. Lowers his head before they haul him out of bounds. Flags come in, as you mentioned, so they're going to tack on penalty yardage as well. So the Indians on the move here late in this game. They'd love to have another score in this football game, even though it's going to end up being a loss.
It is 15. I mean, it's another 15 yards, and they did stop the clock because of the flag. I guess that's the only instance injury or some kind of infraction will stop the clock. Now they're running it again.
And the chain gang is running as well, trying to get down the end of the field. So the Indians will line up 1st and 10, ball at the 19. They got the ball in the red zone after they tack on the penalty yardage. Lively drops back, is looking for somebody to throw. He's got 2 Tigers chasing him around the backfield, fires, and did he catch that ball?
No, it was almost intercepted by Timmy Smith.
Man.
And I don't know if they'll get the ball set for another play, man.
I don't think so. 10 seconds left on the clock. It looks like this is the end of this football game. 4 seconds left on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Game over, and another Darlington Tigers victory tonight. This one a road victory to move their season record to 9-0. More importantly, 5-0 in region play. And that sets up some kind of showdown coming up in a couple of weeks at Chris Hunter Stadium, as you were talking about earlier, trying having their way with Pepperell. And it looks like we're going to be watching the final regular season game for a region championship.
And it's, we haven't had the opportunity to see Tryon, but there's been some scores that have caught our attention, and we've wondered how good is Tryon. If they're beating Pepperell 35-zip in Lindale, that's a good football team, and it's going to be a heck of a clash for all the region marbles in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Going to be a bye week next week, and then, of course, the Tigers will have an opportunity to heal some bumps and bruises and kind of regroup for that final showdown, which is again going to be at Chris Hunter Stadium, which is a wonderful thing. Atmosphere's been great this year, and good to have a matchup like that at home. If you've ever been up to San Barbacane up there and Trine, they show up for the games as well, have a great atmosphere. So this is certainly one of those games I know the Tigers are going to be super glad to have in front of the home fans.
Yeah, I'd imagine Trine's fans will travel well for that game too. I mean, this is for the championship, so it's always fun when your team has a chance to play for a championship. I know that's one of the goals for Darlington every year when they enter the season. So a great effort tonight, another win. They get a week off, they get to heal up, and then it's time to play for a championship.
Unbelievable. Well, man, it's been a lot of fun tonight to be back at Armuchee High School calling this game on behalf of the Darlington Tigers here on WLAQ and the live video stream. Again, your final score tonight, Tigers on top, 45-7, your final score. Let's send it back to the studio for a 3-minute timeout. 3-minute timeout. We come back, we'll award the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game and get you ready for the Rome Orthopedic Center. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Darlington Football would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of this year's live stream. Business Water Solutions, Coosa Steel, Hardy Realty, Riverside Auto Group, and Atrium Health Floyd. Thank you for your support. This broadcast is a production of Northwest Georgia Media. Thank you for watching.